Drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniel's Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
We buy any car.
Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because selling it yourself can be, well, you know.
Okay, I'll give you half now.
And?
No, and just half.
What?
Avoid the hassle. Come to We Buy Any Car instead. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Yeah, I can't do half.
I could probably bump it up to like 50%.
Just go.
Okay.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Are you looking for a place to call home? Say hello to hassle-free home loans with American Heritage Credit Union. Our team will guide you through every step from pre-approval to closing. And with the MyCU Home Connection program through American Heritage, you can unlock exclusive benefits, including a $500 lender credit, cash rewards, and discount when you buy or sell a home. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/Home Connection to learn more. Insured by NCUA. Not a member? Join today. NMLS 433838.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge. Oh, you people are wonderful. Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee. I hear better than I ever thought possible. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/try. That's JABRA Enhance.com/try. JabraEnhance.com/try.
Hey Philly, it's Ike Reese. In the city of brotherly love, the only thing we love more than our teams is great savings. And with unlimited welcome from Verizon, you can save big, even if you're on a single line. For a limited time, single lines start at just $50 a month when you bring your own phone. With auto pay plus taxes and fees, that's a savings of $15 a month. And when you switch, now you can save on the things you love, like Netflix and Max, all on the most awarded 5G network. Now that's a real win. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. But this offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today.
$180 BYOD promo credit and $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months. For new customers with one line on your own 4G, 5G phone on unlimited welcome plan required. Additional terms apply. Auto pay and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. $10 a month for each My Plan perk. Additional terms and conditions apply per perk.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Hi, it's John Ashdale, the Car Czar from Colonial Hyundai. Summer is racing by, and while we wish it didn't go so fast, we're speeding things up here at Colonial. We're nearing the finish line of our construction, and Hyundai has challenged us to sell every vehicle in stock before the grand opening. That's 200 vehicles gone by July 31st. To do so, we're offering up to 20% off any new Hyundai in stock every day of July. Also, we're offering the highest trade-in values in the region, even giving you $6,500 for your trade, no matter the condition. Guaranteed. It's the race to 200 cars at Colonial Hyundai, and during this event, we're willing to do whatever it takes takes to reach the finish line of selling every vehicle in stock. We even have financing as low as 0% for 60 months available. Every new vehicle at Colonial Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, and Hyundai Assurance. Don't get left. Be part of the team as we race to 200 cars sold and save big. Shop us online 24/7 at colonialhyundai.com or visit us on Route 30 in Downtown. Colonial Hyundai, the faster, easier, better way to buy a Hyundai.
Up to 20% off dealer listed price. Includes all rebates and incentives. Offer cannot be combined. Offer ends 8/3. See dealer for more details.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The last time I was in a convention that felt like this was Obama 2008. There's something happening where.
You wrote a headline, by the way.
What's that?
You just wrote a headline, but just like Obama, Trump is showing in this convention he has the capacity to alter the composition of the electorate. That is
the difference between 2008 and now is that Obama was actually popular outside of his own party, and that's not the case.
I don't think you should overstate it.
That was Van Jones for the second straight night, making all sorts of poetic statements about the energy inside of Fiserv Forum with Donald Trump and the Republican National Convention. Welcome back in, Kayal and Company on a Friday morning.
We're back live on YouTube, guys.
No way!
Wow.
Oh, beautiful. I couldn't imagine doing a show and going through 4 hours where we could not get to the clip of Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off.
Oh, boy.
And that's not available for us on YouTube?
Magamania.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Run wild, brother.
Dude. I'm telling you, Dawn, this is the damnedest thing I've ever seen because I've got Dana White, I've got Hulk Hogan, I've got Kid Rock, and then you watch the Fox. I watched the Fox coverage probably from 7:15 on, so it went from Ingram to Waters to Hannity to then kind of the official pregame with Martha McCallum and Brett Baer. And they trotted out old fuddy-dud, dusty Brit Hume. And Brit Hume goes, well, this is you got entertainers and wrestlers, and this is like your pop-ups old GOP. And it just feels different. That's how you bring people into your party, where you expand your base. And you've seen far more conventions than I've ever seen. But that was entertainment. That wasn't just political. Like they opened up the scope of the arena to people of all different walks of life. And for 3.5 hours, I couldn't turn off the television. And I'm usually not one of these people that buys into like the political. Like I don't get like goosebumps and emotional over politics. But last night, like I was like, it's 11:15. How do I go to bed? I got to be up in 5 hours. Oh, no. Is she down?
Nope, I got it.
Okay.
My system, I turned everything off.
Yeah,
that's what I do. I always just go turn it all off, turn it back on.
I want to blow that
see if
system
I can
up, by the way.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that it was entertaining. Hulk Hogan, that was hysterical, ripping off his shirt, and underneath he had, the shirt that said Trump, the red Trump Vance, which I thought he was very entertaining. I thought Dana White was an interesting choice to intro Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered when Melania would come on. She finally did walk on. We never heard her speak.
Right. The
family was there. Trump talked about Barron, but I never saw Barron.
No.
And I don't think Barron was there.
Okay.
So I was trying to find that out if he was there. I think Melania was freaked out about what happened and worried about her kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, he had death threats after Trump talked here on Kayal and Company, talked to us about Barron, and that weekend talked about him. And then there were death threats against him. I mean, people were nasty and said, we can go after, now he's 18, we can go after him now that he's given his dad political advice.
Well, that's why I brought up Kai Trump being 17 and a female being trotted around doing she was on Fox television last night for it seemed like 25, 30 minutes.
With Hannity.
And I'm thinking, like, you know what? After what transpired on Saturday, is that the wisest move? I mean, you can't live your life in fear, for sure. But those were kind of some of the concerns that I raised yesterday.
Yeah, you did. And I think that Kai seems like she is a Taurus, the bull, because I checked her sign. So me.
For the love of God, are you nutty?
I thought you were going to say she drives a Ford Taurus.
No, I checked her birthday because I said
when
did she turn 17. She just turned 17 in late May.
A lot of guys are checking
Yeah.
her birthday when she turns 18.
Stop. Is she gorgeous?
And her YouTube golf videos.
Uh-huh.
Man, because she can flush the ball. Wow.
What a cutie.
There's no doubt she's beating Pop. She wouldn't admit to it last night.
That was
They
the
kept
cutest.
pressing her on it, and she's like, well, I'll go as far as saying maybe. Right? Maybe.
But what a little diplomat too. She has
yes.
quite a future in politics.
I'll tell you what, though. How great was that image of Trump with the firefighter jacket of the deceased comparator.
Corey Comparator. And
I
so
mean, God.
reportedly he wanted to go yesterday to the services here in Pennsylvania
Mhm.
because I reported that because they said he was going to, and the Secret Service shut it down. Said,
oh,
absolutely not.
Oh, so now they shut things down, right?
Well, no, now he listens to them.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sir, come on. It's not even a week.
So that was pretty remarkable. I thought Eric Trump. I even texted you last night, Dawn, and I said Eric Trump was killing it, and he was just making all of these very well stated, well thought out, short, brief statements. It's almost like he only speaks in 5 or 6 word sentences, but it was just going on, and it felt like it was going on forever, but not in a bad way, as he just kept illustrating all these great points. And really, I think this thing was choreographed to perfection for all 4 days, right? You talk about the concept of unity, and it makes you wonder what it would have been like. I think the energy certainly still would have been there, but had Trump not have gotten shot and changed the script, so to speak, for what this convention was going to be about, you have to wonder what the impact would be from script A to pivoting now to script B, and if, in fact, this resonates with the small, select fringe out there that are able to be persuaded and swayed. I hope what you saw for the last 4 days, specifically last night with unity, doesn't fall on deaf ears where everybody has already made up their minds, which I feel like 99% of people have.
Everybody's already made up their
Because
minds,
the polls just really are not changing
They're
that
not.
much at all.
They're not.
Right?
They're not. That's why it's just, for a second we have unity, Well, if you're off of social media, there's unity. But when it really comes down to it, people are going to vote who they're going to vote for because their minds are already made up about these two. It's just how it is. So
that's remarkable, especially considering you throw in the assassination attempt last Saturday. That just goes to show you how polarizing and divisive each side looks at the other guy, right? There's very middle ground for that independent moderate out there to be swayed. But then again, if it's a razor-thin election, it might not take many of those people to be swayed to impact the election, assuming Joe's still the guy if he survives the weekend.
Yeah, if. I was riveted by Trump saying, I'm going to talk about, because this was the first time we've heard him speak and certainly tell about what happened from his viewpoint. I thought that was riveting as he described, and you played it, but as he described from his take, and he could hear and see that people thought he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that was why he thought it was amazing that there was not a stampede, that the crowd everybody stayed there, and everybody wanted to know he was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so that his perspective and Trump telling that, I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
And why he did that, why he put up his fist. He wanted to let people know, hey, I'm okay.
Yep. We will take your calls if you want to jump in all morning long at 855-839-1210. What's that?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So let me get to Biden and the developments from late yesterday. So according to Axios, President Biden may soon exit the race, top Democrats believe. And I'm going to give you just a couple of bullet points here directly from Axios. They believe that Biden could drop out as soon as this weekend, with Sunday being the highlighted date. Go figure, we'll be doing the bike ride. Joe Biden might legitimately fall off the political bike on Sunday and call it quits. Maybe he gives a press conference. Maybe they break into some of the talking head shows on Sunday morning. Biden now self-isolating with COVID, remains publicly dug in, but privately he's been resigned to the mounting pressure, bad polls, and untenable scrutiny, making it impossible to continue his campaign, the top Democrats tell Axios. The top leaders of his party, his friends, and key donors don't believe that he can win. The president is being told that if he stays in, former President Trump could win in a landslide and wipe away Biden's legacy and Democrats' hopes in November. The pressure to step aside as a candidate has been rising to, quote, intolerable levels. Also, a couple of quotes here. His choice is to be one of history's heroes or to be sure of the fact that there will never be a Biden presidential library. That is one of the president's close friends telling Axios. Schumer, Pelosi, Jeffries, Obama, Bill, and Hillary all telling Joe that it's time to check out. But the reality is he can't be forced out. He has the delegates, and no one can physically pry them away.
By the way, the Biden campaign is saying, because this all started from a report from Mark Halperin, and Dawn, as you remember, Mark
Was he the humper?
Is the humper. He used
At the
to,
water cooler.
Yeah, he used to work for MSNBC. He was fired because he used to come up to females. I guess we have to say allegedly. They fired him for it. So
they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nobody's. I think he apologized.
Yeah, and he used to come up and dry hump women at the water cooler. So he's the one. He's the one now, and he's like.
I dare anybody to do that to me at the coffee machine. Jump on me, go for it. Just dare. That's what we do here.
You asked for it, Dawn.
Jump on me, go for it. That's what we do here. Because I just feel like kicking some, you know what? Go on.
But that's, he's making his political comeback because everybody gets a second chance in life. And he's the one who started with this report. Now, the Biden campaign is completely denying this. They basically called it fake news. They basically said that it's the same people that got Donald Trump elected in 2016 are the ones that are spreading this. Meaning,
do you believe the humper?
Yes. So it really comes down to is the report from Mark Halperin credible? Okay. I don't. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, do you think that he's like he can't stay in this, right?
I don't see a plausible way in which he can recover from all the bad PR. There's nobody left on his side. Honestly, I mean, the show that Joe wakes up to is telling him, go home, dude. Yeah. It's over.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like the biggest fraud of all time because, as I said in the big take, Scarborough in February and March is saying, this is the greatest version of Joe Biden we've ever seen. And all it took was one June 27th debate for the whole narrative for the last 3 years that he's got vigor and he's full of energy behind the scenes to be shot to 50,000 little pieces. And now he's indefensible.
Yeah.
And the best part of all of this, I thought about this yesterday. So last week, Tractor Supply Company ditched their DEI initiatives. This week, John Deere has done the same. Microsoft has also done the same in the last 48 hours. The ultimate irony is corporate America is abandoning DEI, and the Democrats are relegated to elevating the epitome of a DEI hire to replace Joe Biden, and that is Kamala Harris. Think about the irony and the timing of that. She was brought in to shatter glass ceilings, and she is polling lower, from what I read just last night, than 4 other potential Democrat replacements in swing states, which include Gretchen Whitmer, Josh Shapiro, the senator from Arizona, I'm drawing a blank on his name, and a 4th person, Wes Moore from Maryland. By the way, interesting, of those 4...
Andy Beshear, too, from
as well.
Kentucky or Kansas, or one of those.
Gavin Newsom, not in that list.
Mm-hmm.
No Newsom on that list.
Yeah.
You know what?
Pretty interesting.
The weird thing about this is that I know they're worried just about down ticket. They're not even, they just think Biden's lost. But the weird thing about it is that I think Biden is the only one who has any chance at all. That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
I will say. Because nobody's going to vote for, Connell, I don't care what the polls say. Nobody's going to vote for an unknown team and in these times.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen. And so that's what Joe Biden is, somebody he's been doing this his entire life. And so he's saying, guys, this is, he's talking to them saying, I can do this. I still have a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, Jill. Jill's pounding away. She doesn't want to leave the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But and here's the thing: if you want to trot out Kamala Harris, and we'll give you the 5 reasons according to Politico as to why Harris is probably in as the replacement if Biden drops out. You want to throw out Kamala Harris? I mean, she was dubbed the border czar, yet she was completely MIA in that role, and she was one of the administration's biggest glaring holes and liabilities. And the biggest issue politically for this administration hasn't been the economy. That's a close second. But the number one issue has been the southern border. And they really highlighted it last night with all those 250,000 fentanyl deaths. But I would say this. It doesn't matter who the politician is. It doesn't matter who you elevate in the party. It's the policy right now that I believe will lead to Trump being reelected. Because if you continue on with this left-wing, progressive, DEI, identity politics approach, soft on crime, open borders, and elevating people to positions that they're not justified to serve in, I think you lose. So you can trot out somebody from Arizona, from Maryland, from Pennsylvania, from California, from Michigan, Whitmer, Shapiro, all these other people. If your policy does not slide back right and get off the left-wing fringe, I believe they lose. And I thought about this last night. This, to me, I'm going to give you a sports analogy, and I think this makes perfect sense. Remember when the Eagles hired Chip Kelly, and it worked for a moment, and then everybody figured out what Chip Kelly was about, and he had no adjustments. This is a lot like the Democrats right now. Their policies have failed, and it doesn't matter what quarterback you put in the game or what offensive approach you're going to take. It's not resulting in wins.
I will say this: just remember, this also happened when I was away, but just remember I'm not saying that it's a bellwether for what's going to happen here, but look what happened in the UK. Both France and the United Kingdom went far left.
Yeah. So
when you say it's the policy, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't agree with that at all. I think that if Joe Biden was competent and Joe Biden was with it, I think this would be a very, very different conversation.
That's fair.
I'm just being honest with the way the winds are blowing right now, with everything. The people live in these siloed bubbles, and they just think that the entire world or the entire country thinks like they do.
Well, both sides
and they
are guilty of that.
They just don't. You're 100% right. I saw a poll yesterday that like 34% of Democrats think that the Trump assassination was staged. Yeah. Like, are you like what is happening?
It's nutty,
and it's never that side of it. We always hear about QAnon and the conspiracies on the right. We never hear about the conspiracies on the left.
Yep.
Where did the anti-vaccine thing start? That started on the left.
Yeah.
You never hear about that.
Yes.
But I will say for Trump last night, he began on this solemn, very personal note. I loved his spirit. I loved how he came out in a very serious way. I loved that they started with a prayer, which I said we have to stand up, and they're like, really? I said they're standing praying.
For God's sake. For God's sake.
So you're standing in your living room for prayer? I stood for Hulk Hogan when he ripped his shirt off.
But that was beautiful to me.
I fell asleep
that was
at 8:30.
incredible. I love that
That was the entire damn thing.
I love that Reverend Graham, we learned, wrote him a note and said, please don't use foul language. And he said, I'm trying, but I got to tell you, because I guess Reverend Graham told him it doesn't make the speech better. And Trump said, but it does.
If he really keeps that humility and that thankful humbleness, now the question is, can he keep that for 3 months? It's one thing to do it in a speech, but if he can, it makes it more likely that I think people will buy in and he can win.
But he, as the speech went on, he went way off script. And when he started talking about the stolen election and some of the rally points that he makes and riffing, those are the sound bites that maybe like, to me, I think, well, I'm used to him saying that. I watch every rally, I watch everything. So to people who like him and support him, maybe they didn't even notice that he was saying that.
Yep.
But those are the sound bites, those are the audio clips
that rival networks take.
That that the Democrats are going to use in the ads and say he's the same guy,
Mm-hmm.
even though we were glad he's better and that, thank God.
I mean, Jake Tapper basically said that last night.
Oh.
Is that what he said?
I wasn't watching Fake Tapper, but he
Tapper.
was right on that point.
Yeah, I mean, Tucker Carlson made a comment, when you get shot, it changes your life. I have to believe that that's true. Can't speak on it in firsthand experience. I'm sure most of us, unless we were in police or in the military, can't relate to that either. But if it really did, I'm telling you, that's the tone that he needs to stay committed to, because we've seen moments where he has tunnel vision, he's laser focused. Remember when he officially announced last fall that he was coming back to the arena, and he was very low energy, low key, and people were saying it's good, and then others were like, man, he seems really, really low energy for Trump. That, to me, I think his discipline is what gets tested the most over the next couple of months.
And Melania, in my opinion, I don't know what's going on with them, but when she came on, she was lovely. Everybody was glad to see her, so elegant. But then they were not really together. Then at the end, he's on the stage.
Because
she walks up behind him.
Because they're as married as Nick and I are.
And look, I'm not talking about anybody else's marriage, okay?
Yeah, me neither.
So that's, Larry and I have been married 24 years. And when you're married 24 years and together 27, you realize I'm not talking about anybody else's relationship.
Yeah, and I've been with Kristen since the Eisenhower days.
But she walks up on stage, and he looked, first of all, he was thrilled, but he looked genuinely surprised and then took her hand. And it was a nice moment, but I'm just like, what is this?
Be honest,
so
be
I
honest.
was.
How many tears did you shed last night?
No.
Oh, the whole week. I was a mess.
A mess. Yeah.
It was like I was bawling.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I watched every second of it.
There was a check deposited in Melania's private bank account. That's why she showed up last night. By the way, if you're watching right now on YouTube, this is very important. If you're watching right now on YouTube, please, everybody, hit the like button, because we want to get, because we had the late start, we want to get the algorithm back up so it gets in people's feeds. So everybody right now watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the like button so we get up in people's feeds. Sorry, Nick.
Well, you're fine. 855-839-1210. Do we still have our buddy on hold that I can get to?
Sure, Ed and Delran.
Yes, let's go to Ed and Delran. Ed, wrap up the first hour for us, buddy.
Well, listen, if you listen to Nick, Dawn, and Greg, they won't let a phony politician pull your proverbial leg. Anyway, that's what I got to say first.
Thank you.
And here's what you're going to love. This whole shooting incident, we can thank the vitriol of the leftist politicians in the mainstream media that have perpetuated this kind of nonsense. And I'll give you a prime example. Remember Maxine Waters saying, go after the Trump administration appointees and harass them, let them know they're not welcome. Then you got Chuck Schumer going to the Supreme Court threatening Kavanaugh, and somebody shows up with a gun. And last but not least, Joe Biden says, let's put a bullseye on Trump, and someone tries to take him out right afterwards.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing? So to quote Reverend Wright, their chickens have come home to roost.
Well said.
Reverend Wright in a long
Ed
time.
and Delran.
Bringing it home.
Nice work. Yeah. And you heard when Hogan said last night the last straw was when they shot at what Hogan claims is his hero. 855-839-1210. Yeah, they've got a long history going back to Trump Plaza when I think WrestleMania 3 was in Atlantic City.
4 and 5.
Was 4 and 5?
Yeah.
That was what, 88, 89?
Yes.
So there you go. All right, hour number 2 on the way. Dawn will have some news as well as the 5 reasons why Kamala Harris is likely to be in over Joe if Joe is to go. We'll get to that as we continue. But first, a word from my friends at the Piazza Auto Group, specifically Piazza Mercedes. What a vehicle, the Mercedes-Benz C300 Coupe at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester. Sleek and stylish on the outside, packed with advanced technology On the inside, its touchscreen interface and AI voice recognition sure to impress. The 2024 C300 features a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with 255 whopping horsepower. Available today at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, or Atlantic City. Yeah, maybe you swing on by on Sunday after you get done riding 65 miles on a bike, ride home in a Mercedes-Benz. Shop online, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Get ready for a gift from Rescue Natural Supplements. It's their Christmas in July sale. That's right, the season of giving is making a summer comeback with huge savings. That means all health supplements will be slashed up to 50, 60, even 70% off site-wide. Treat yourself with savings on heart-healthy omega-3s, pain-relieving anti-inflammatories, natural immunity boosters, and so much more. To order, call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Don't miss Rescue's Christmas in July sale. Shop savings up to 70% off all natural solutions for your highs and lows, from high blood pressure, cholesterol, low energy, testosterone. Rescue's got you covered. Hurry on over. Unwrap the joy of a healthier you at res-q.com. Do it today.
Hey you, I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at Archbishop Wood High School in Warminster, PA, Saturday, September 28th. For tickets, go to JoeConklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Saving for retirement is one thing. Making your money last? For that, you may need some help. Listen to Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Yo, Roy is Ford. We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
Kayal Company, hour number 2 underway here on a Friday. Good to have all of you in. Nick, Dawn, and Greg. What's on the cut sheet? Less than 45 minutes away. Sean Farish coming up at 8:30. RNC finale last night. Convention in the books. Still ahead this morning. If Joe is out, the 5 reasons why Kamala is probably in. And also more disturbing revelations with the Trump shooter. Not even going to say his name because that's part of the reason why these psychos do it, to go down in history, and I won't give them the satisfaction. We'll get to the scary details coming up in just a little bit. But before we get to all of that, let's get to the news. And by the way, we are back up on YouTube.
Thank God.
So youtube.com/@1210WPHT and hit every button you can find.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you're watching right now, please hit the like button because we want to get we want to fool the YouTube algorithms and get back up in people's feeds since we got a late start this morning.
That's right. All right, let's get to the news. 7:02, round number 2. The great Dawn Stensland.
And good morning. We are sponsored in Kayal Company News Live by Budget Blinds. Well, if you're waking up to a little frowny face on your computer screen, your device ran into a problem and needs to restart. We're just collecting some error info, and then we'll restart for you. I'm at 60%. I'm pushing F8. I'm doing everything. I don't know. It's not working, but flights are grounded.
My internet is down. Have you tried rebooting and powering down and disconnecting your modem?
That was the first thing I did. I turned everything off. I unplugged. Everybody's doing this morning. It's the worst if you're trying to fly out this morning. Flights grounded, travelers stranded by the hundreds here in Philadelphia and across the nation, including, every airport. I know JFK, I can't even imagine Chicago or JFK LaGuardia, apparently just a disaster. But this after a huge tech outage, and this is also impacting banks, crippling banks. Hospitals are feeling the impact as well. And this is worldwide. So they're calling it a worldwide Microsoft outage. And this means flights, banks, media outlets. If you're watching your local TV stations, you'll know that a lot of them don't have the regular graphics. And maybe the anchors are on camera just trying to do a little tap dance and chat. And you can see that. And I will say this, I feel for those who have a fill-in co-anchor. Do you know what I mean? Because you want your regular peeps. You want your regular crew on when something like this happens.
Right.
And so for those who have, their co-anchor took off Friday.
Yeah.
And they have some newbie who has no idea and they're not from here.
Right.
And you see the look on their face oh,
Yeah.
man, I wish I had taken today off.
To sum it up, basically, you're saying,
I want my Nick Greg.
Exactly. So glad team's all here.
Yeah, what happens if you're a radio host that doesn't broadcast from the city that you say you do, but might still be in that city?
Oh, yeah.
Like Kansas City?
No, stop. I didn't say anything like that, Dawn. How dare you?
The plot thickens.
I'm talking about the syndicated shows.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about the syndicated shows. That's why we're all live and local here. Every single one of us.
We're here.
Every single one of us is here.
Yeah.
In the building.
Right.
Rich Rich is at the RNC.
Yeah, he's in Milwaukee.
But he's here.
Coming home today.
At least 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So
definitely not today.
You think about airports, you think about hospitals. They all have backup systems. American, Delta, United, the top 3 U.S. carriers, they earlier said that a technology issue with a, quote, third-party vendor impacted them without naming the vendor, though. Frontier said a major Microsoft technical outage hit its operations, quote, temporarily. This has caused major outages. The FAA reporting it is closely monitoring the technical issue impacting IT systems at all United States airlines, and that several airlines had requested assistance from the FAA with ground stops. That from in an agency statement. So we have, all the government agencies, U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, saying that the department was monitoring Frontier's flight cancellation and delay issues, adding it'll hold the company and all other airlines to their responsibilities to meet the needs of passengers, which is a curious statement to me because this is due to some kind of an IT power outage that we've been talking about. That was his statement. CrowdStrike CEO George Kurtz saying the IT issue has caused a global outage. It has been identified and a fix has been deployed. This is his statement. CrowdStrike is actively working with customers impacted by a defect found in a single contest update for Windows hosts.
Oh, my God. A defect.
See what happens when you name
Mayor Pete
to be the head of all this? Think about all the different travel issues we have had.
I was just going to say that.
Trains and planes and barges and bridges.
Yeah, if you didn't know better, you would think that, he wasn't good at his job.
He's not.
Well, this is Microsoft, so my question as well is, my Apple iPhone is working, but the Microsoft products are not. Right? So I don't know. I'm not a computer, obviously. So the cyber security company and CEO saying that the issue is not a security incident, is not a cyber attack.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, even though earlier I reported to you that about 1 o'clock this morning, the U.S. noting a national security issue dealing with a Kremlin-based Russian cyber company has banned them. Just a coincidence, I'm sure.
Sure.
Escalating disruptions continued and continue now after Microsoft says it's gradually fixing the issue impacting access to all Microsoft 365 apps and services. And so the website Down Detector tracks user-reported internet outages, recorded growing outages in services at Visa, ADT Security, Amazon, and airlines, especially American Airlines and Delta. News outlets, by the way, down under Australia, they're reporting that airlines, telecommunications providers, banks, media, and that's us, broadcasters, all disrupted due to losing access to computer systems. So this is a worldwide situation, by the way.
Very scary when telecommunications and banks are simultaneously down. That's when I start to get a little uneasy.
I'm just looking at all the people, Israel, cyber. So what are they doing? I'm just looking in the Middle East. How do they handle this? But they're saying it's a problem with cybersecurity platform CrowdStrike.
Okay.
So I'm just looking at the reporting that some are blaming CrowdStrike and then some are going to Microsoft. Microsoft in the United States of America, because so many of us deal with Microsoft and all the apps, we're dealing with that. But worldwide, the blame is on the cybersecurity platform CrowdStrike.
Interesting that Microsoft just ended their DEI initiatives a few days ago, and now they're dealing with this. Maybe they need to rehire everybody. Maybe we need to have more DEI.
This is true.
The show must go on.
Yes, the show must go on. Locally, and I know that we've talked about there are more services and memorial services for Pennsylvania's volunteer fire chief, Corey Compatore, who was honored yesterday, of course, last night by former President Donald J. Trump, as he brought out his entire fire apparatus, the helmet, the jacket, the uniform that he actually wore, and he had spoken to Corey's widow, Helen, during the day. Of course, we've talked about their 2 young daughters and how this Pennsylvania man is being hailed as a hero. He literally shielded his wife and teen daughters and took a bullet that essentially blew his brains out.
You know, what's really amazing is if you think about this and look at Republicans. Republicans typically want to give you facts and stats and data and numbers. And the Democrats, to their credit, traditionally are great storytellers. Now, all of a sudden, you have Donald Trump, the ultimate storyteller. J.D. Vance looks like he's a great storyteller. And over the last 4 nights of watching the RNC, think about how many great stories were told, from speakers to guests on television. That's where I think this time around it feels different, because they're not just sitting there and saying, well, look at the stats of the border. We know those stats. But you know what? Some people don't want to be told numbers and facts. They want to hear stories and have like the emotional attachment to somebody. Republicans, I feel like now more than ever over the last 4 days, are showing their ability to tell a great story.
This is true. I mean, all of it, all those stories will be used. I mean, anything that any story you tell, anything you say, can and will be used against you at the DNC upcoming in August.
Yes.
So let us not forget. So when Trump talked about the Iron Dome, for example, last night, the speech went on nearly 90 minutes.
Yep.
I was fascinated by that, meaning an Iron Dome and security for the United States of America. I also was fascinated by the point that Trump made when he said, did you know that AI and running all of these systems, the battery power and the energy use is through the roof? I did not know that. I mean, we could ask Dave Scalish, who's here in the building trying to fix all of our computers. Yeah. But that was something I learned a lot. And you think about all the security clearances. Sometimes he's saying things, he's riffing about them, and then you look into it and you realize, okay, he's actually looking into this. And that's something Vivek Ramaswamy has talked about, that Trump is intellectually curious. He asks a lot of questions, but he's criticized for that as well.
Right.
Because sometimes he'll riff on something and people will make fun of him. It's because he looks into all of this. He wants to hear more. He loves to be surrounded by all these different experts.
Good point.
So we've got that going on. In Philadelphia, one of the big stories here, by the way, is the reassurance from City of Philadelphia officials and across our region, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and beyond, as they're saying, yes, if you have an emergency, an auto accident, whatever, you can still call 911, but they're doing things in an old school backup manner. And you think about even locally, remember in Bucks County, the 911 system had gone down and they had to go to the old school backup methods, did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, that was for a couple of days, if I recall.
Yeah,
right?
it was like a week.
Yeah.
And so this is now another exercise that puts our systems to the test. I think it was Nick and Greg saying earlier this morning, we don't think about it. We take it for granted that we have electronics, really computer systems, all of these apps, and they rule our lives and impact us. But in a case like this, all of the training that people have had, for example, a 911 system in a major city like Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think my generation, so if you're 40 or under, if you were just sent back in like the hot tub time machine to the 1950s, you'd have no idea how to function in society. No, like the 60, 70, 80-year-olds that are with us today could do it with ease because they recall it. Us privileged Gen Xers and millennials.
I don't know. I mean, for people who were alive in that time pre-internet, we all were.
Yeah. I guess we could.
You could forget how to do that stuff, right? It's like, oh, that's right. I have to actually physically do this here. Or I actually have to manually do this. I can't just, you know what I mean?
I have to hang up my landline before I connect to the internet.
Yes.
But the truth is, with the major technological breakthroughs, when you think of Apple, the iPhone, and that advanced technology, that was really within the past, when it really took off, I'll say 17 years.
Yeah, I was going to say 07, 08-ish.
Yeah. So that's, to me, I think that's, and we should mark that, the Apple generation, I would say.
Yeah.
Because, there are many people, I know a whole lot of people in their mid-30s into early 40s who have all the survivalist stuff. You know, especially you meet people I have family in Chester County, for example, and they absolutely have the backup systems. They have those Costco survival buckets that we talked about with the freeze-dried meals. Yeah, they have all of that. Yep. And my brother's the best. So he refuses to get a smartphone, pays cash for everything, runs businesses in the Midwest. But he's somebody who keeps an old, he knows how to work on cars and things. He has multiple cars, but he has this 1957 Ford pickup truck from back in the day.
Wow.
That's the old school engine.
Yeah.
Because he says, when it all hits, I've got a real engine that has no computerized parts to it.
So no smartphone. So what does he have, like an old Nokia flip phone or something?
Yeah. He just, he's that guy.
That's pretty crazy.
But he's the guy everybody would run to his house if, the dookie hit the fan.
Yeah.
But I think this is a day where we think about it. In Philadelphia, the lights are on, the traffic lights are working, so that's at least a good thing. We've talked a lot about the Republican convention, the cyber outages, and Olympics security when we think about the Paris Olympics kicking off in 1 week, and we're hearing about ramped up security issues. So I just want to give that as another headline this morning. Sponsored by Budget Blinds. Summer's a great time to brighten up the window treatments in your home. Budget Blinds, your one-stop shop for blinds, shades, shutters, custom drapery, motorization. Visit budgetblinds.com for a free in-home consultation. The only no questions asked warranty in the entire business. We started out in the 60s this morning, just feeling so crisp and beautiful. But we are headed up into the mid-80s, 87 degrees in the city, down the shore. Wow, what a beautiful Friday for you. Partly sunny skies. And through the weekend, much of the same. So I know that we're heating up, to the higher 80s this weekend, but nice breezes, the lower humidity comparatively to the heat wave we just got over. Kayal and Company News Live.
All right, Dawn, thank you very much. 855-839-1210. What's on the cut sheet? Less than 30 minutes out. On the other side, two things to get to before we get to the cut sheet this morning. I want to get to the latest revelations on the shooter and the history of disturbing thoughts, and this kid clearly had issues. We're going to get to that, and also the 5 reasons why Kamala Harris is likely in if Joe drops out. I'm sorry, Stocker, I couldn't hear a word you said.
I'm sorry, Vince in media.
All right, let me get a phone call. Vince is in media. Good morning, Vince. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
I'm well. Are you okay? You're a little hoarse there, Vince.
Actually, I'm calling because I was supposed to get radiation this morning.
Oh, well, God bless you. Thoughts and prayers with you, buddy.
Thanks, at the University of Pennsylvania, but they're completely shut down.
Oh, man. Because of the outage.
Yeah. Oh, man. They just sent us all.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you watch the convention?
X-rays.
Did you watch the convention last night?
Oh, yeah.
There's a little macho man there. Don't do that too much, Vince. You're going to lose the voice, man. You got to rest the pipes.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, because Dawn had said that hospitals have backups, but not for radiation.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez. Vince, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I'm praying for you right now.
Yes, absolutely. You take care of yourself, okay?
Thanks, guys. Love the show.
Thank you very much, Vince. We appreciate it. God bless you, brother. 855-839-1210. We'll get to the disturbing details of the now deceased would-be attempted assassin, and I'm not even going to say his name. I keep looking at the headline, and I almost come close to uttering the name, and I just refuse to do it. Back after this, Kayal and Company, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Tired of your old kitchen or bathroom? You need to give my friends at Kitchen Magic a call. They offer no shortage of solutions for any room in your home. With a new vanity and a tub shower conversion, you'll love that new bathroom. Plus, an industry-leading warranty. A 10-year recipient of Lehigh Valley's top workplaces. Right now, they're offering 12 months, no payments, no interest financing, plus 10% off your remodel. Get your free in-home consultation today. KitchenMagic.com. KitchenMagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. We're halfway through July. Have you been putting off that family vacation because the economy's tough? Well, don't forgo the summer vacation. It's important to make family memories, and it's not too late. The Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey makes getting away affordable and possible. The Grand offers you all the conveniences of a shore home with all the amenities of a full-service resort. For example, you can visit Hemingway's restaurant that's on site, and they serve the most incredible food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if you want to just make the kids a PB&J sandwich, the Grand offers guest rooms, suites, and townhomes equipped with a kitchenette where you can just make the kids a sandwich. The Grand also has 2 huge heated pools, one outdoor and one indoor. You know, my kids love their pool, and they have an arcade, so if it rains, the kids still have something to do. I'm telling you, the Grand is my happy place for a reason. Book today, you won't be disappointed. And always book directly with them for the best rates. Book your stay by calling 800-257-8550 or grandhotelcapemay.com.
No one is happy to discover that the air conditioner is broken, and it always breaks on the hottest day of the summer in the middle of the night. That's why so many homeowners have Oliver's Peace of Mind membership. For as little as $13 a month, Oliver maintains your home's cooling, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems all year long. Membership also includes annual inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, and priority emergency service. Call Oliver today or visit us online at oliverheatcool.com.
July savings are going on now at Hessert Chevrolet with savings on Silverados and Blazer EVs. Drive home a 2024 Blazer EV with 1.9 APR for 36 months up to $3,500 off MSRP, or a new Silverado 1500 for $389 per month for 36 months with $4,500 off MSRP. July savings are here at Hessert Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit HessertChevrolet.com today. Call 267-343-9094 for details.
Your way or no way at Hessert Chevrolet.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are offering to qualified buyers a maximum discount of $13,176. This offer is good on all 2024 XC90s in stock, $13,176. Plus, the Cherry Hill Volvo 2024 model year sell down. Pricing and attention to detail here is not to be missed. Volvo should be on your shopping list now. This is the time to purchase from Cherry Hill Volvo.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
Did you know you can stream Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app? Just download the free Odyssey app and search for Fox News Radio to hear the voices you trust. Brian Kilmeade.
Why are we so scared of Iran thinking that we're at war with them?
Guy Benson.
Get the bleep out of here. It's disgusting.
Jimmy Fallon.
Then this administration rolled into town with a checkbook.
Are all on the free Odyssey app. From the news and talk to keep you informed and up to date during election season. Listen to Fox News Radio on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Ad paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-866-7061. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-866-7061. The call is free. The consultation is free. Call 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Again, 800-866-7061.
Hey, Paoli. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
We're just getting warmed up, baby. 7:24. It's Kayal and Company. Friday morning. Nick, Dawn, and Sean. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Nick, Dawn, and who?
Oh, I'm thinking of Sean's coming up at 8:30. Nick, Dawn, and Greg.
He's practicing, Dawn.
I was saying that for 2 weeks.
For when I'm showing the door, he's practicing.
I'm pretty sure you won't be showing.
See how much you're appreciated.
Nick, Dawn, and Greg. Sean will join us at 8:30. Cut sheet at 7:45. And we are back up on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT.
If you're watching right now, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button because we got a late start. There was all kinds of technical issues this morning. Thank you to Dave Scalish and our crack engineer team for getting us up and running as soon as they possibly could. But we got a late start, so we're short a few viewers. So if you can hit the like button for today's show, it'll be put back in people's algorithms.
Yeah, and text your friends and your buddies and your family. Say, hey, they're back up and running.
They're back up.
Get over there. So disturbing, shocking revelations with the now deceased Trump shooter has emerged in the last 24 hours. We'll get to what they found in the van in just a moment. But surprise, surprise, this now deceased scumbag had a long history of disturbing thoughts that thankfully he never pulled off in the years leading up to this past Saturday, as new reports show that the shooter threatened to shoot up his high school and also put bombs in the bathrooms years before his failed assassination attempt on the former president. That is according to the Daily Mail, where when this kid was in high school and he was just 15 years old, he was in an incident that at the time wasn't taken seriously, but is now being probed by the FBI. DailyMail.com can reveal federal officers on Thursday visited his former classmate, Vincent Taormina, who is now 20 years old, to quiz him about the shooter's hatred of politicians and the threats that he made as a freshman at Bethel Park High School. Speaking exclusively to DailyMail.com, Taormina said, quote, "We had like this anonymous place where you could post things or tell on someone on our computers at school, and he posted something like, quote, 'Don't come to school tomorrow,' and something else that made it sound like he'd put bombs in the cafeteria bathrooms. Quote, 'Half of us just didn't come to school the next day. I didn't, but it wasn't taken seriously. We all texted one another and came out pretty quickly that it was this guy,' and I'm not going to say his name, "and his friend and a group who made the threats to shoot the school up." Apparently, no picture of this individual in the Bethel Park High School 2019 yearbook, and in fact, the only one that appears to have been taken during his career at the school is now the widely seen 2020 picture, which became the first published shot of him following the July 13th assassination attempt. Since then, only a portrait of the deceased shooter, 20 years old, has emerged from his beginnings as, quote, "a normal little boy to the young man who grew up to be increasingly troubled. He was a loner whose internet search history included major depressive disorder and who some suspected was bipolar or schizophrenic. Former classmates described him as sweet, quiet, intelligent, but a loner who was, quote, a bit off. They say he ate lunch alone and was bullied for being shy and weird, and his group of friends in school were described as outcasts with strange hobbies." So those are some of the details that we now find out with this individual. And then, of course, we heard about the van. And in that van, there were explosives, there were IEDs, and other contraband inside the van, according to sources that told Fox News. The sources could not say how many explosives or what kind, but emphasized that more than one was found. There was also bomb-making materials found inside of this individual's home, sources tell Fox News. Now, that's important because the 20-year-old deceased scumbag shooter lived with his parents. So initially, we were wondering, what did the parents know? Did they know about any red flags? Well, this family, I would have to imagine, considering, I think, Dawn, you said this, his parents are counselors.
Mm-hmm. They both, because It's on public record
Okay.
that they're both certified social workers, so they're licensed.
So don't you have to realize, A, as a parent, if you're remotely involved with your child, B, you're a counselor, C, your child is 20 years old, still living at home, not completely out of the norm by any stretch these days, but you had to understand that he had some sort of history mentally. Maybe you knew about his internet search history. You probably had to realize that he hated politicians, which is also still bizarre because he was technically a registered Republican, yet he donated to a progressive super PAC. And look, there's a lot of people out there that hate politicians. We all just don't go forward with trying to assassinate a politician. So these are very, very disturbing things, and I'm not surprised in the least that this kid wanted to shoot up his school and put bombs in a bathroom. In a day and age where, yes, we've already debunked school shootings do not happen more frequently than they did 30 years ago. They're just covered differently in the social media era. But to me, it just goes to show you how inexcusable it was that this kid maybe did not get the help he needed. The parents didn't take every precaution possible. We can't have people like this that are ticking time bombs waiting to go off on innocent, unsuspecting people that are just trying to enjoy their life.
Yeah, and this really goes. I always try to think of a local story. I mean, this is a Pennsylvania story. Think about the Bucks County accused killer of Sergeant Chris Fitzgerald. We knew that he had a past and reports of all kinds of problems in his high school as an underage person, and then at the age of 18, he's now 19. That's when he's accused of standing over Sergeant Fitzgerald when he already had shot him 3 times, shot 3 more times into his head and face. But this person had a history, according to the authorities and all the court records. And then even the case locally out in the suburbs where they had the situation of a girl being attacked reportedly by somebody who is a male who was identifying as a female in a local school district, and that student was transferred around from this was a middle school attack, a brutal beating, and we learned from all of these about the protocols at a school. So in the private school system, if somebody, I can tell you right now, if somebody threatens this and that and they catch them on the private chats or whatever, you're booted. You are booted and you are extracted from that community. That's what happens in the private schools. In the public schools, because of the Department of Education and all the rules, even if a public school locally is extremely proactive, they still have to abide by all these different rules and regulations that are federal rules that they have to abide by, and it's a whole lot of bureaucracy. And they get caught up, and that's, by the way, that's part of, you talk to a lot of teachers or those assigned to a student like this, because that's what happens. They assign an adult resource to you and counsel you and have to follow you around if you are a risk. That would never happen in the workplace, right? But it happens in schools.
Yep.
So this is part of the reason when we talk about the Department of Education, for example, and the bureaucracy that it creates, this is one of them.
Yeah, no question.
But this kid right here and kids like him who have mental health issues, and remember, he would have been what, a sophomore? I believe he would have been a freshman, sophomore in high school when the pandemic struck. Governor Wolf at the time, strictest mandates and shutdowns in the nation, impacting certainly, and this is documented well, the psychological health of our young people.
It's almost like you're reading my mind because, or maybe you read the Daily Mail article, because Madison Rudolph, a 17-year-old, was in the shooter's computer class during their time in high school. And the shooter apparently had his high school experience, which coincided with the global pandemic. And Rudolph noted that the shooter was further ostracized for continuing to wear a mask long after the mandates had been lifted and student life resumed a semblance of normalcy. One friend recalled during that time of remote learning where the shooter would not put on his camera when joining classes via Zoom. He was also not a member of any high school club, team, or group, in stark contrast to his older sister, Katie, 22, who was a popular and far more outgoing student, acting as both a school custodian and a member of the school yearbook team during her time at Bethel Park High School. So you talk about the report here where he reportedly hated politicians, and during the pandemic, it became very political. To me, just putting one and one together here, I think something might have went off, and this is just an assumption on my part, where he snapped during the pandemic, and now that the pandemic is over and people are back to trying to live their life normally, you send people back out with mental illnesses, either pre-pandemic or exacerbated further during the pandemic, and it's open season on a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part of society.
Yeah, and kudos to I didn't see the local article, but I just as a mom of teen boys, that's why I said that, just the experience of what they were going through. And I'm figuring because of his age and knowing what Governor Tom Wolf was doing here, it wasn't until their senior year. A lot of kids didn't even have, did they even have a walkthrough in high school graduation? But it did affect boys differently than girls, and especially those kids who already had some issues, like you're saying, and feeling ostracized, then it only further ostracized them.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is one of the, I do believe, I'm not blaming Governor Tom Wolf, but at the time there was a pushback, and Wolf was known as somebody who even said that his daughters had run cross country back in the day, and that if they were still in high school or college, still running cross country, this was then Governor Tom Wolf, he said he would shut down all sports, even cross country where they are running outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so kids, I mean, my kids hated him for doing what he did, because there were other officials across the country, Governor DeSantis at the time of Florida, who vehemently disagreed. Well, when you look back at this, I would love to see the stats of, for example, Florida kids of the same age. What is their mental health status in states where they did not have the extreme shutdowns compared to East Coast places like Pennsylvania here, Philadelphia, where, and then kids were medicated. Now we're seeing kids come off the meds. That's another problem.
Yeah. I mean, I remember it vividly when we were in Tennessee. We were far more loose with a lot of things. And, my daughters and my wife, so they, pandemic was kindergarten, 2020. So, kindergarten and first grade altered, but then second and third grade, back to normal, back to business as usual. And my daughters are going to be 10. And my brother-in-law, he's got two daughters who are 12 and 11. And we were like, yeah, we're back in class, and masks are optional. And they're up here, in Pennsylvania in the Lehigh Valley during the pandemic, and it was just a night and day difference between what Tennessee versus Pennsylvania was doing. So I'm fortunate from that standpoint, and the fact that they didn't fall behind reading, math, science, things like that. So,
and that weaves in the story of the budget, our Pennsylvania budget. To your point, Nick, so you think about your little girls, they know how to read. They're, I'm sure, at a high proficiency rate. You think of Pennsylvania, not just Philadelphia. We are fourth from the last in the nation.
It's unacceptable.
And we spend either right at the top. We're one of the top spenders per student, $23,000.
We're not getting any
per
return
student
on our investment.
Oh my goodness,
none. You give out all that
It's a
money
sin.
and you finish in 46th place. It's ridiculous. All right, 7 o'clock hour brought to you by Discover Lancaster. Discover more of Lancaster this weekend. Pack the family in for some farm fun at the opening weekend of Cherry Crest Adventure Farm in Lancaster County. Just a 90-minute drive from Philadelphia. Plan your getaway today. And also, don't forget, we saw Eric Trump last night. You might want to check out what we have lined up for July 30th, because you'll get to see Don Jr. That's right, 1210 WPHT's Politics and Pints.
Did you hear Dom yesterday? Dom and Dan were going after this program.
What?
Well, in fairness, I called them out because I asked, well, I didn't really call them out, but I asked you guys yesterday, I said, I heard Dom doing a promo, and I was wondering, do they refer to him as just Don, or is it Donald?
Well, we said yesterday that it was, that, like, it sounded like, they were on a first-name basis with him. Like, are they friends?
Mm-hmm.
And they called us, of course it's Don. And they called us out, and then they kind of made fun of your golf game.
Well, that's fair. When I was in the one day I did play golf with Dom, I didn't have the A game. So he's not wrong in doing so. But I'm just trying to figure out, is that the way we should refer to him as Don? I know I've heard Don Jr., but is he known as Don Trump Jr., or is he really just Donald Trump Jr.?
See, if I were to, it depends on how formal it is, but if you're the one announcing him,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to have cocktails, Dawn, so I don't know how formal it's going to be.
But if it's a formal, a formal announcement, and when you see it in print, it's Donald Trump Jr. and his son, Don Jr.'s son, is Donald Trump III.
Okay.
So if it's a formal announcement, it's Donald Trump Jr. We want to welcome Don Jr. to the stage. That's formal.
If there's one person that will know this answer without having to look it up, Don, it's probably you. What is Don Jr.'s middle name? Do we know?
John.
Oh, so so if I called him DJT Jr.,
I wouldn't call him that.
Well, I mean, just like in passing, I wouldn't do that for the introduction. But I wouldn't be wrong though. So he's a DJT as well.
I wouldn't do that. I would be, to me, upon meeting him, I just always think people love to hear their own name, no matter who they are.
I'm just trying to get it right, because I can mispronounce Lancaster or Lancaster, and the whole YouTube chat loses their mind. Oh my God, he said it the wrong way.
But I will tell you the proper way to do it is Donald Trump Jr., and then on second reference, just say Don Jr.
By the way, thanks to Barrett Media for writing about the event yesterday.
They took a moment to stop writing about New York talk shows. I thought we could get a 15th article on Sid Rosenberg or all these other guys. Like there's not other great media markets out there.
Yeah. They do have a soft spot for New York, don't they?
It's the number one. God. It's the number one media market.
It doesn't make them the most talented shows.
By the way, so Barrett Media wrote about it. I'm guessing that this will probably sell out this weekend. Yeah. So if you're on the fence about it, there are meet and greet tickets too. There's only a few of those left. So I would get on it right now, 1210wpht.com. It's July 30th, Tuesday, July 30th at the Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood.
Yeah.
Collingswood, New Jersey. By the way, it's a great venue.
Yes, it is.
Have you ever been to that venue?
I have not, but I now know it'll cost me $6 to go across, not $5.
That's right. The bridge tolls.
I can see right now an expense report coming up in my email for Nick's tolls, his gas,
his Tito's,
the bourbon that he's gonna. Are you gonna drink Tito's? Or are you gonna drink bourbon?
I think for a Trump gathering, I'm gonna go with the brown water.
Because when you did the Jack Carr thing, you had a beer in your hand, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
They had an IPA on draft.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Hit the spot.
Yeah, that's what's cool about these events is that you can drink.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm going?
Just makes it even. What do you think Don Trump Jr. is going to drink?
I think he's a bourbon guy.
Yeah.
I could see that, yeah.
See, Dom only drinks...
assuming he does drink, because the old man doesn't drink, as Don has said.
Dom only drinks red wine, so
Oh, I love a glass of Cabernet. Yeah.
We have to get him
Dom Giordano.
Yes.
Only reads.
Right.
Only has red.
So we're going to have Dom and Don.
Yes.
In Collingswood.
In Collingswood.
All right.
You got to get your tickets now.
Yes. And by the way, Barrett News Media, there's 4 great shows on this station from 6A to 7P. Feel free to write about them. There's great content for 13 straight hours. Be an easy 500-word article you guys can write up. If you can, pivot away from Mike Francesa and every other schifozo in the Big Apple. All right, coming up next.
Bitter, Don.
Are you bitter?
No. It doesn't change my pay grade. It'd just be nice to see our station get a little recognition since we're kicking ass and taking names.
Let me tell you something. More people on the YouTube chat.
Yes.
Go to the bathroom during the commercial breaks than read Barrett Media.
Oh boy.
You do not need Barrett Media.
No,
okay?
Oh boy.
More people listen to me.
Hope they're not listening.
I love you, Jason.
You don't need Barrett Media.
Well, you've taken flamethrowers this morning, Don Stenslin.
It's been a big week.
Calling people out by name.
Yes.
That's right.
Stenslin has taken the gloves off on a Friday morning.
I know.
And we still haven't gotten to the cut sheet. But we will.
Yep.
Next, here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Philadelphia? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Philadelphia for free. That's right. We'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Philadelphia is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Philadelphia and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Your official home for Penn State football and basketball is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app. Listen to every Nittany Lions game on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit EasyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
Free speech lives here. With Don Giordano weekdays noon till 3. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
It's been a wild Friday here on Kayal and Company, Nick, Dawn, and Greg, 855-839-1210. Trump pitching unity, Stenzelin pitching fastballs. I guess Dawn didn't get the memo.
No.
Dawn's taking a flamethrower to everything today.
It's just, I can't believe. I mean, go back on the rewind. Go back on the Odyssey app rewind if you want to hear Dawn call out people by name. It's amazing.
What
it's
a time
amazing.
to be alive.
It's amazing.
It's like we've got our own little convention going on here this morning.
She's physically trying to fix her computer right now. She's not even in her studio.
Yep. That's all right. MSNBC wasn't physically in Milwaukee either.
And CNN called them out on it, by the way. It's amazing. CNN was like, some of us are here and others, pretend to be here with a green screen in back of them.
CNN's like, what else do we have to lose?
By the way, hat tip kudos to the Zioli show. They did a great. Zioli and Matt did a great job this week, live from the convention. They were right on the convention floor, by the way.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the videos too, by the way, you can go on the YouTube. Page, and there's all the videos from this week are up there.
Looking forward to our buddy Sean Farish in about 40 minutes. We'll talk to him at 8:30, both as Donald Trump and as himself. Should be a very interesting thing. A lot has transpired since last Saturday. All right, without further ado, let's find out what Stalker has lined up for a Friday edition of What's on the Cut Sheet.
What's on the Cut Sheet?
What's on the Cut Sheet on this Friday is brought to you by Cherry Hill Volvo, where they have amazingly competitive pricing plus an additional $1,000 discount on all new Volvos. Cherry Hill Volvo is where relationships really do matter. Judith Yosef and the entire team look forward to meeting you. Check them out on Route 70 Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter. Thank you, Judith, Yosef, and the entire Cherry Hill Volvo team for sponsoring the ever-important Friday edition, always the best edition, of What's on the Cut Sheet. Okay, let's start here with Cut 10, Phil, excuse me. I told you where I was going to start, and I already messed it up. We've been talking about this all morning. Nick and I, our childhoods were, I'm hearing a lot of people say, a bunch of washed-up celebrities, which, okay, but
not wrong.
For Gen Z,
right,
or, excuse me, Gen X,
yes. For
Gen X and the early millennials,
like myself,
Hulk Hogan was the ish.
There was nothing from when I was born in 84 until 96. My first 12 years, Hulk Hogan is up there with.
That's what I mean.
Michael Jordan, for God's sake.
That's what I mean. The nostalgia factor of having Hulk Hogan up there was like, how does he, how do the 18 to 34-year-olds? They don't care, and who cares? No. This is for, the 40 plus.
Yep, I agree.
Hulk Hogan said this about his hero, Donald Trump. This is Cut 11. Phil, go.
His family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero?
Takes his jacket off.
And they tried to kill the next President of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
I can't believe I'm 40 years old and my life just went full circle at the RNC convention, from Hogan to Trump, from, the eat your vitamins and say your prayers Hogan, to then when he became a bad guy and joined the NWO, to now taking off a jacket, ripping off a T-shirt, and underneath with the Trump Vance ticket T-shirt. I'm not going to lie, Dawn Sensley, I know you cried over important things. I cry over the inconsequential things, like Hulk Hogan hulking up for the Trumpster.
Oh, no, I took video of my screen and tweeted it out. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it was like my kids were laughing, and it was entertaining, and it was different in that sense.
But let me just say, the serious piece of what he said. When they took a shot at my president, enough was enough. And we can say all the things you want for reaction and clicks, and we can use these hyperbolic words and phrases. But this is the risk you run when you make comments like Trump is Hitler. Because then you end up with somebody in little Butler, Pennsylvania, who was bullied growing up and was detached from his high school class and allegedly, reportedly wanted to shoot up a school and bomb a bathroom. And then you take that stuff and you bring it into the real world. And that's again, say what you want about politics. Some people say it's super important. Others say it's professional wrestling. But yet there's got to be a line between, fantasy and reality, right? And you can't cross that line. We're not supposed to do that in this nation. And that's where I think Hogan and many other people were like, enough is enough. And oh, by the way, too, Hogan's at a point in his life where he can now come out and share his political views because he doesn't care anymore. A lot of people in their career and their prime might not be able to say the same thing in fear of being ostracized or canceled.
Kid Rock introduced Trump with a song, American Badass.
And this is, now, I'm not a huge UFC fan, but I'm almost certain this is the same song that Trump comes out to when he comes into a UFC fight with Dana White, although they altered the words.
Cut 9, Phil, go.
What up, America? If you're ready for President Trump to take the stage, I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to put a fist up in the air. Everybody, get a fist up in the air.
I gotta say something. Let me just say this. This is not your grandparents' Republican Party.
Verbatim what Britt Hume said.
It is. It really isn't. I mean, Kid Rock doing American Badass, Hulk Hogan, Dana White.
Frank Luntz, Republican pollster, said the same thing on Twitter last night.
I just, the spectacle of this has been incredible, honestly. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to scoff and be like, oh, Kid Rock. I'm not a Kid Rock fan.
Neither am I.
I'm looking at it as a entertainment show. Mm-hmm. They knocked it out of the park.
Oh, my God. This was a production.
They knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
The only thing we noticed was it was for a party that keeps saying, hey, we want to be the big umbrella diversity party. These were all white people, and the image was older white people.
Fair.
Interesting.
So, I think visually that if I were, let's say I were a Democrat strategist, I would take screenshots. I would take some shots of that all of the RNC and say, have you noticed who was missing?
Well, they're doing that already, Dawn. With Trump's cabinet, because there's a picture of him sitting behind his desk with his cabinet around him, and it's all older white people.
Well,
and then Biden's thing with more diverse. So they're already doing what you're saying.
Here's where I would push back from what Dawn is saying. Keep in mind what the RNC is. I mean, this is the Super Bowl of an election season leading up to election night. And the people that go to the RNC are the diehards. So to me...
Well, they're the delegates.
Well, yeah.
Who you choose.
But even, the celebrities that are there and some other people that are there, I don't feel like this is maybe I would argue that some of the polling numbers, and I know polls have lied to us and been wrong in the past, but I would say that the polling numbers that we're seeing where Trump's got 20% of the black vote or 38% of the Hispanic vote, that's more indicative of, I think, the expanding diversity, and not just in race, not just in religion, but in age demographics as well. Because as we know, Gen Z men are skewing conservative and Republican more than ever. But I thought multiple people really nailed it, that this is a different Republican Party. This is not your old Bush era of politics. And it was rejected.
I'm just the YouTube chat, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, the YouTube chat is just amazing.
On fire today?
Even if they take shots at me, I think it's hysterical. Exile Kraken says, nah, Gregnick, the bar's too low. I'm disappointed we didn't get a Hell in the Cell and Mankind appearance.
5 people know what that means.
I don't care.
That's great.
I don't. Okay, let's go.
Mick Foley.
Let's go back to Kid Rock. Phil, if you could restart Cut 9. I'll give you a second here. Cut 9, go.
What up, America? If you're ready for President Trump to take the stage, I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to put a fist up in the air. Everybody, get a fist up in the air. Now follow me. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say Trump, scream.
Wow. Never in my 44 years did I ever think I would see it.
But the cutaways of people, like, and that's when you really noticed it during the music, because there were all of these like awkward white people who don't really have good moves. I'm just saying. And it was like oh
yeah,
some of these cutaways were painful.
Yeah, some of these people need to get away from like their keyboard or their office and just get outside and experience more than just like whatever it is that makes them seem so. A lot of them seemed as uncomfortable as DeSantis in front of a big speech.
Or do a warm up. Do a warm up to let people know we're gonna have Kid Rock out. Let's do some moves. Let's do a little grapevine or something. You know what I mean? To try to loosen everybody up. We're gonna be standing up. We're gonna have the warm up person.
Do they serve drinks there at the convention?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I would say for those that were a little stiff last night, that's why you get lubed up a little bit.
Lubed up.
And then
you hear that, Dawn? Lubed up.
You just let it fly.
Donald Trump then took the stage with the bandage on his ear.
Boy, I tell you, this Trump guy's really milking it with the bandage.
It's unbelievable. People. I would like to see somebody get shot.
Yeah, let me shoot you in the ear.
I still have a compression sock on from a dopey sprained ankle. A week and a half later.
Yeah.
Like, calm down, everybody.
I know.
Cut 11, Phil, go.
It must be healed. We must heal it quickly. As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
Spoke for like 93 minutes.
I know.
Very subdued. I got to say, I probably would have trimmed that in half, maybe.
Mainstream media are saying that it was entirely too long. I've seen those headlines floating around this morning. I think it's probably coming from MSNBC. If I had to guess, I don't recall off the top of my head. But you know what's remarkable is usually Donald Trump is the life of the party. He's the energy. He's the injection of juice, so to speak. But if you think about these last 4 days, all the people that spoke, the concept of unity, it's Trump that was the one that was dialed back and reserved, yet it was all the other different keynote speakers and those who addressed the nation that had far more energy. And that's not a slight, that's not a knock against Trump. That's, I think, Trump delivering that unified message. The only question is, can he keep that going at rallies, in interviews, media appearances, Truth Social? We'll see if that changes.
More from Trump. Cut 12, Phil, go.
People. They're incredible people.
By the way,
bullets were flying over us.
CNN with, if you're watching.
I felt serene.
Here, let me just
do
a stop here. If you looked at the beginning of that, CNN did a split shot between Trump and Melania.
She seemed
just noticing that.
I don't know if you noticed this, Dawn. The entire entrance, which I thought was really well choreographed with the video billboards in the background and the song, but she seemed, now I know she can be very camera friendly, but she seemed like she was kind of starstruck. I don't think that's the right word because she's been in big venues and big settings like that, but there was a look on her face. Maybe she's still a little unsettled by what happened last Saturday. Maybe it's being out in the moment, out in public. Maybe you're a little bit on edge. I don't know. She seemed like maybe she was just a little rigid. I don't know if you got that vibe.
I mean, she smiled so beautifully. I was just waiting for her to smile, and I think, part of it is you want to see her because you want to know everything's okay, much like he put up fight, fight, fight. But how is she doing? Because remember, we know from Don Jr.'s interviews, from all of the different information, that this family, even before the Pennsylvania rally in Butler, they've received death threats, and they've received extra Secret Service and all of that. We know that what freaked her out was those death threats And it was horrifying, and they were investigated against Barron, her only child. She's also dealing with, and I can relate to this, because Barron is going away to school, and he has been her life. You know, when she had him, she didn't get nannies. Even though they were billionaires and the whole thing, she raised him. He is her boy and her life. So her husband was just shot, and she wrote that beautiful letter. Trump also revealed to us when she released that letter, the RNC was surprised. That was her. So Melania has gone a little bit rogue, and and remember when he won the presidency to everybody's surprise in 2016. And if you recall, there were reports that, in fact, at the time, she stayed at Trump Tower, reportedly was renegotiating her prenup. I mean, she's not an idiot. She's a smart woman, and reportedly it was not for her. It was that her son Barron, and this was 2016, that Barron would have equal standing and equal inheritance to the older Trump kids, Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka.
Wow.
She's 100% a MAGA mama bear. And she is all about Barron. And so I suspect, I thought last night, you know what, Big Mama Bear is coming out? And she's saying, okay, she doesn't like something about, first of all, the security with Barron. She's freaked out about him. But number two, with the Trump businesses, the three older kids, my take on this is that there's something more that she wants to make sure that Barron is equal and gets equal play.
Interesting perspective. Well said.
It's all about the negotiation.
Thank you.
All right, let's restart cut 12.
I'm just saying, in a blended family, these things happen.
Cut 12.
And in a billionaire blended family,
I believe about half of what you said, but okay.
It's just my theory.
Cut 12, Phil, go.
Incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. No. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God. In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose, surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. But I could see it, and I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight."
Pretty amazing speech last night, and I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. I think it's very, very impressive and sound political strategy that nobody in the Trump inner circle, specifically Donald Trump for sure, has criticized the Secret Service, has criticized law enforcement for being perhaps understaffed, incompetent. He hasn't called for the head of Kimberly Cheadle and saying she should be fired. The media has done that, rightfully so. I think he's allowing certain factions and segments of media to fight that battle for him. He's focused, and also not mentioning Joe Biden's name. You know,
I think he did once.
Did he say it towards the end?
Once.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
He said, I will say it once, but I'm not going to say it again.
Yeah.
And then further, he said the administration.
Yeah.
Or the other guy.
Yeah, and look, who could be that other guy or gal? Honestly, at this point, Trump doesn't even really know, neither does half of America, who will be Trump's opponent, which is pretty remarkable. I never thought on July 19th, if we go back to March of 2023, when the first indictment with Alvin Bragg came down, I did not think we would be at the point where Biden would have the worst debate in the history of debates, Trump would be shot at, and Trump would be the guy in the driver's seat, and the Democrats would be in complete disarray. Nobody scripted this. Nobody saw any of this coming in the last 16 months. This is legitimately
And by
Hollywood script.
And by the way, the people who said that they did and they predicted all of this years ago or months ago or everything like that are lying, because it's just not. No, you're right. Nobody could have predicted the way this unfolded, because you can say, and we've said on this show, we've said on this station, other hosts have said on this station, that, like, you know, this is politics. Anything can happen. So, you know, to that extent, sure. I never, you know, that's why everybody was like, well, this is locked up for X or this is locked up for Y 3 months ago. I was like, you don't know what's going to happen.
We still have 3.5 months.
Yes.
I mean, we could see 3 different detours along the way between now and Halloween.
I just get nauseated when I see these social media nudges. Like, I predicted this. I knew that this. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Benny Johnson. Sorry. Sorry, now I'm calling people out.
Well, I mean, you did say that you could foresee Biden and Trump not being the nominees, and it looks like you're going to get half of the equation right.
I don't know, though, Nick. I don't. Who knows? I mean, like we're relying on the word of Mark Halperin, who I guess I still have to say allegedly dry humped women at the water cooler and was fired from MSNBC for it. Who's a total creep, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, most people's opinion.
But you see the tide completely turning. I mean, there's no Democrats on his side. We'll get to Bernie Sanders, who was on with Stephen Colbert last night.
That must be entertaining.
In a little bit. All right, a little bit more from former President Trump. This is cut. Where are we here? 14. Phil, go.
See the chart. I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage.
A little shout out to the Secret Service, by the way.
Yes,
Interesting. Very
indeed.
interesting.
I saw a couple of haters on X last night saying, when he said I could hear the bullet whiz past my ear, saying there's no way you heard that. And I'm like, the hell he didn't. I mean, I've been on a golf course where somebody hits a golf ball into you on a different hole or going past your golf cart, and you can hear the velocity of the ball whipping by your ears. Now imagine, that's coming off of some bozo's golf club. Imagine what a bullet must sound like as it's coming right past your ear out of a rifle. Some of these people, they just go away. Just leave America if you hate it so much.
Paul,
you're just so mad that he's not dead.
Paul Tears sends me an email and says, haha, you're one of the biggest predictors. Have a great weekend. I do a kind of tongue-in-cheek to kind of, all the people that predict politics. Like
I bring it.
Some sort of Nostradamus. It's ridiculous. Like it's some sport outcome that you have a 50-50 chance of getting right.
Yeah.
I predict Trump will win. I predict Biden will win. Well, one of you is going to be right.
It's not like you're laying 7.5 in a football game.
Exactly.
Right?
I love the sport of this, so yeah, that's why I predict things. And by the way, I'm usually correct. All right, let's one more from Trump. You mentioned this earlier, Dawn, paying tribute to Corey Comparator. This is how that looked and sounded. By the way, streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Please hit the like button if you're watching right now, because we want to get in people's algorithms to outsmart YouTube. So please hit the like button if you're watching right now. Cut 17, Phil, go.
It's Corey Comparator, unbelievable person, everybody tells me. Unbelievable. And seriously wounded. 2 other great warriors, spoke to them today. David Dutch and James Copenhaver. 2 great people. I also spoke to all 3 families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. Was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated. And 2 precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was.
And he's pointing to the jacket and the hat. Look at that.
Walks over to it.
Yep. Yeah, that's an iconic photo right there as well. And I love how he's pointing to the camera and then make sure you get the shot of the jacket, the whole bit. I'm telling you, man, if you were to say, hey, Donald Trump is going to be a few millimeters away from being assassinated, how will you predict the way Trump will handle it in the following 5 days? I don't think I would have predicted him handling it the way he has. I'm not sure that many would. I know, geniuses like Tucker Carlson say, well, you get shot, it changes your life. But Donald Trump's a unique individual who is very brash, combative, bombastic. You can throw in any adjective you would like. And look, he could easily go back to that approach that has made him unique and successful in this arena and one of one. But I did not see this coming over the last 5 days. Not at all. His kids have been more verbal and animated than he has been, which is very fascinating.
Not all of them.
Well, not all of them, but Eric was very stern.
Eric and Don Jr.
I think Don Jr. is a little more, I think I said this a few days ago, Don Jr. is a little more abrasive. He's more like his dad. I feel like Eric is a little more subdued, low-key, but he was really great last night. I mean, he put together a hell of a speech.
By the way, I'm sure Dom is going to ask Don Trump Jr. About all of this, and you'll have a chance, too, to ask Don Jr. questions as well at the Scottish Rite Auditorium for our next Politics and Pints. Tuesday, July 30th. Tickets are on sale now, 1210wpht.com. Please make sure you get them because they are going really fast. We got a bigger venue for this one just to accommodate all the demand for this. So, just make sure you're acting quickly, 1210wpht.com. One more from Trump. I know I said that last time, but this time really one more for Trump. He talked about the U.S. hostages that are captured by Hamas. This is cut 19, Phil, go.
We want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office.
This was almost...
Well, you will be paying a very big price.
There you go.
Dawn, you were just saying?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a powerful moment because he means it. And that's just it. When he says that, they better be back before I. So that's why he's a game changer in a moment like that. So those moments were strong moments, and I just will say I know that he riffed a whole lot, but I wish he had stuck to the script.
Mm-hmm. That's also a global message. That's a message to Russia, to Iran, to North Korea, to China, to Hamas, to any sinister nation, Iran. You better get it in now, because January 21st, 2025, if he does win the election, globally, a lot of stuff's going to come to an end quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Simone Sanders is one of the commentators on MSNBC after the Trump speech last night. She called the Corey Comparatori's fireman uniform a prop.
Okay.
Got 21, Phil, go.
By the prop that was Mr. Comparator.
Well, exactly. Comparator, yeah.
Comparator. I was sickened by them using him as a prop, his firefighter jacket, and then they spelled the man's name wrong. And so he said, oh, we're so grateful that the fire department sent this to us. These are local dang on dollars, okay? This is not, Chicago Fire. Angela Bass ain't about to come out. They got their names on the back of the jackets. Like, who are you fooling? But then they put the name on it and they spelled it wrong. I was just kind of like, if we're gonna do props, like, let's at least get it right.
Well, to be fair, she didn't say his name properly.
Yeah. And by the way, the New York Post saying the last name misspelled on the firefighter jacket because it wouldn't fit, not a mistake by the Trump campaign and the RNC. It was by the provider who they just couldn't get enough letters to fit the jacket. The New York Post tweeted that 7 hours ago.
But wasn't it his jacket from the fire company? Is that correct? Or he had it made?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Let me click on the link and I'll see if I can find the answer.
Because I inferred that it was his actual gear or his actual helmet.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever seen or heard. What's her name? Simone Sanders?
Yes.
Yeah. What time is she on? Midnight?
No, I think she's just a contributor. She used to work, I think, for the Bernie Sanders campaign.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Since we're going down this road, I might as well keep going. Joy Reid. She has some opinions on who the Trump coalition is.
Okay.
This is cut 23, Phil, go.
It's interesting because we were talking about this during the break. I mean, this is the Javier Milei election, right? I mean, and then in Argentina, that's how that went, which is that you had this coalition of, and not to be cruel, but it was described as sort of an incel election. It was the young, angry men of Argentina who, they wanted a macho candidate, and it went along with policies like banning abortion, banning birth control, and the idea of no-fault divorce. It all kind of goes together. That you've seen this kind of election before. You see the same thing in Hungary, like the Orban of the party is it's rooted in returning white Christian men, but also white men and white adjacent men, black men, brown men who are white adjacent in terms of trying to also be in that dominant position in society. And then you have women who are willing to go along with that, right? There are a certain number of women who are also willing, the trad wife sort of thing. And so what you've seen on the stage, but what's interesting though, is it J.D. Vance who promotes this kind of thing? He says there shouldn't be no-fault divorce. He says women in violent situations should stay. He didn't say that in his speech yesterday. No, there was no talk of abortion. No. There was no culture war stuff regarding men and women because they know it's deeply unpopular. Well, there you go. Here he is, Donald Trump, taking the stage.
Yeah, All right, there he is, Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry, that was Joy Reid, who never offers an ounce of analysis on policy, pro or con, from the Democrat, Republican side. Everything is about race. And kudos to MSNBC for continuing to put the backdrop up of like they're actually live in Milwaukee.
Again, that they should be called out by the FCC.
Yes.
They should be investigated because that's a lie. I do have the statement from the volunteer fire department, and I was right. That's the way
it's his
that
gear.
uniform
It's his bunker
is his actual gear from the fire department.
Yeah.
So the idiot woman from whatever fake show she's on did not check her facts. If she's going to go out and mispronounce someone who was murdered while out with his family and a hero trying to block them, she should at least do some fact checking, which she did. It just shows she's not a serious person.
Just be careful, Dawn, about calling for the FCC for people that you don't agree with, because people could do that to us too.
No, it's not. No, it has nothing to do with not agreeing. It has to do with somebody who is perpetuating a false image.
Somebody could say what we do is that. So
No,
I'm telling you, just be careful about the FCC.
No, I'm not going to be careful.
Yes.
I'm not going to be careful because I am being serious. I've worked in this business a very long time, and I'm very familiar with all the FCC rules, which is why I am always honest, which is why I always give the sourcing, which is why I would
opinions
never.
Like we're giving.
No.
That's what they're doing. Yes, they're
Greg,
giving opinions like we're giving.
When you show a background and you claim that you are at a live event and you are not, that's a lie.
Have they?
I don't know if they're claiming that they're there.
Said that?
Has anybody watched it, or are you just speculating?
They're perpetuating that. You would actually think that they're there.
I mean,
so shame on them. It's the same when Mika and Joe were trying to, when they weren't,
I can't believe
divorced, and they were pretending they were in different venues.
I can't believe I'm sitting here defending MSNBC, because that is not what I want to do. All I'm saying is that the same people that you want to call the FCC on because whatever opinion they give or
it's
whatever.
It's not me. Anybody can write a letter to the FCC.
Okay.
Anybody.
Then somebody listening right now at 825 who doesn't like what you said or like what Nick says is going to call and
fine.
Maybe or maybe not, we might be out of a job.
No, you're not out of a job. The FCC investigates every single, and that's just it. This is the power of the people. And so whether it's a television station, any broadcasting entity, any citizen,
the FCC is a government entity.
Oh, I'm very familiar.
It's a government entity that should have
My husband
no
has
control.
testified before the FCC. I'm very familiar with this, Greg.
They should have
any
no
citizen
control.
can write a letter, and every letter that any station, including this station, gets from a citizen, you must keep on file. And so, believe me, I've been trained extensively over the years with the FCC. Anybody who misleads in the media, such as that, is subject to an investigation. And it doesn't take me, it's any citizen.
Yeah, let me
that's
see
the
if
beauty
I
of
can
it.
Update my LinkedIn here.
No, that's the beauty of it.
Hey, by the way, Phil, make sure we're paying attention because Sean can't connect to us virtually, so we got to make sure we get that situated, or he's going to have to call in. But go ahead, continue.
Wait, what?
Sean's having issues connecting to us in about 5 minutes with the video.
Of course.
So I don't know if anybody saw it in the text, but continue.
I don't know where to go with this. Okay. So Mika Brzezinski, do you like her, Dawn, or is she going? Should you call the FCC on her?
It's not who I like or don't like. I don't like when people lie, when they perpetuate a lie to the viewers, because I think that's an insult.
But that's what the left says we do on this radio station, Dawn. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what the left says we do on this radio station.
I'm not pretending that I'm in Milwaukee. I'm in Philadelphia. So if I'm lying and saying, live from the so-and-so, the FCC is even strict with what you can put on a screen. Like, let's say you put a little live banner on a screen and it's actually not live. They monitor that. They monitor all of it. I'm just saying.
Okay. You guys good?
Navy Prepper says, Greg, you're breaking the first rule of marriage, arguing with your on-air wife.
Yeah, that's right. She's always right.
I've become the sage veteran. I just shut up and sit back and I let people go at it. Not get involved.
I'm just saying when it comes to matters of the FCC, just be careful. That's all I'm saying. who may or may not own this radio station, just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Right? Right, Dawn?
No,
Right?
I think that's a no.
I'm right, and you're wrong.
8 o'clock hour brought to you by Best Work Industries for the Blind. Best Work Industries
Just
for the
call
Blind
Larry.
and their e-commerce store, helping businesses succeed in all work environments. BestWorkSupplyCenter.com offers traditional office products, cleaning supplies, furniture, technology, and more with free shipping and next-day delivery. BestWorkSupplyCenter.com.
We should actually take a break and try and figure out the Sean issue on the other side.
Dave Scalish is going to need a bourbon.
My hero, Dave Scalish.
Scalish is just putting bonus hours today.
Woo!
He was
A
here
man
like-
of few words who just gets things done.
He was here at like 3 o'clock this morning.
Look at
so.
Scalish.
God bless him.
He's walking down the hallway now. He's smiling.
Dun, dun, dun. I
Chest
just fixed my
puffed out.
computer. Thank you, Dave.
Nice work,
You're my
Dave.
hero, man.
Dave's the best. All right, quick break. We'll come back. We'll get Sean Farish either via video and audio or audio only. And we will also hear from faux President Trump.
Woo-hoo!
For the first time, Sean Farish will give his thoughts as the president and as himself on a whirlwind week that 6 days ago, the political landscape changed maybe permanently. Kayal and Company, Sean Farish, next.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Philadelphia? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Philadelphia for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Philadelphia is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Philadelphia and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Hi, this is Joe Meterchick, PNC Bank Regional President. Down the corner, around the block, and maybe even in your parking lot, PNC continues to bring banking services closer to your door. Greater Philadelphia is now one of 10 regions where we've permanently introduced the PNC Bank mobile branch. This bank on wheels can be seen rolling up to community organizations across the Delaware Valley. On site and by your side, the PNC Mobile Branch is part of our commitment to supporting communities that need it most. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Get ready for a gift from Rescue Natural Supplements. It's their Christmas in July sale. That's right, the season of giving is making a summer comeback with huge savings. That means all health supplements will be slashed up to 50, 60, even 70% off site-wide. Treat yourself with savings on heart-healthy omega-3s, pain-relieving anti-inflammatories, natural immunity boosters, and so much more. To order, call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Don't miss Rescue's Christmas in July sale. Shop savings up to 70% off all natural solutions for your highs and lows, from high blood pressure, cholesterol, low energy, testosterone. Rescue's got you covered. Hurry on over. Unwrap the joy of a healthier you at res-q.com. Do it today.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano for my friend, dentist and board-certified prosthodontist Dr. Robert Bentz and the Bentz Dental Group. His state-of-the-art facility makes your dentistry as easy as can be. Recently, they had a permanent tooth put in. And you know how it is. In the past, you bite down, it's too high. It's always too high. The back and forth getting it just right. Well, not this time. With Dr. Bentz, it fit perfectly the first time. Call the Bentz Dental Group now, 610-272-6949. Visit BentzDentalGroup.com, 610-272-6949.
Hey, Clementon. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
Lonely is the night when you find yourself alone. Your demons come to light, and your mind is not your own. Lonely is the night when there's no one left to call. You feel the time is right, say the writing's on the wall. Yeah.
Kayal and Company, 8:35 Friday morning. You know what that means. Time to chat to our buddy, our pal. Well, we'll get to him in a few minutes. That's Sean Farish. But first, we will start with the man who delivered a unifying message last night. The great Donald J. Trump back with us here on Kayal and Company on a Friday morning. Mr. President, congratulations on a tremendous speech last night and a heck of a 4 days at the RNC convention.
Well, we are very happy to be back, and it's good to see Greg. We love Greg. He's a tremendous person, too. He's got nice hair. Not a lot of people say that, but I think I could say that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And I want to say this, too. The speech last night, the people are saying it was too long. CNN is saying it was too long, and that is because their guy, you look at Crooked Joe, he can't get through anything. I want to point something out. Let's point something out. You have the great Lee Greenwood. He sang the song 2 times, Monday and yesterday. He sang the song, God Bless the USA. Lee Greenwood is 81 years old. Could you believe that? He's 81. Crooked Joe is also 81. Lee Greenwood got through God Bless the USA, and Crooked Joe has a hard time getting through the ABCs. He doesn't know the lyrics. He says, I forgot the lyrics to the ABCs. We say, Joe, the lyrics are in the title. It's in the title, 26 words. That's all it is, 26 letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's not hard. It's really not hard to do it. But we had a great time at the convention. They say the speech was too long. That's because Crooked Joe can't get through a 21-minute interview. I could go through speeches. We could talk for a week straight, and we'd still have the energy. Crooked Joe, you can't have him talking for 5 minutes before he starts calling people names. It's horrible. You saw what he said about the Secretary of Defense. He said, I hired the black guy. Could you believe that? I cannot believe that. So they have a lot to be ashamed of, and we had a great convention. Everybody's very happy. We're motivated, and we're ready to make America great again.
Mr. President, obviously last Saturday, just a unbelievable evening. Take us through your mind and what played out Saturday in Pennsylvania as you were very, very close to losing your life.
Well, these are sick people. We're dealing with very sick people, and we don't know what happened. And I'm not so sure I want to know what happened. But I can tell you this, when you have crazy people calling me the worst things imaginable, I'm talking about horrible things. Now they're saying it was staged. People are making fun of, you have Luke Skywalker. He wants to be a Jedi. He's not. Telling me that I'm wearing a bandage that's too big. He wouldn't know anything about too big. He only knows about too small. I can tell you his lightsaber is smaller than Yoda's. I can tell you that. And he says, "Tired I am, rest I must." We love Yoda. He's a tremendous person. I trained him, by the way. I trained Yoda.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Great guy.
I
can say this when you look at. I can say this when you look at Mark Hamill. Maybe Emperor Palpatine had the right idea. He should have kept going with the lightning. He should have kept going. But you see these people. These are horrible people. They're posting terrible things about me, but they want to turn down the rhetoric. And you have AOC calling me a neo-Nazi. You have horrible people saying horrible things. And that led to a sick person trying to do terrible things to me and to the people there. So we are weighing many, many changes, including Hulk Hogan becoming the new head of security and putting Kim through a table. We're going to put her through a table, potentially. We'll see what happens. But it was hard. Saturday was very hard for me and for our country, but we're happy to be on the other side of it by the grace of Almighty God. We're happy to be on the other side of it because it is the big man. They call him the boss. You call me the boss, but there's only one boss. It's called God. And he's the reason we're here today and we're talking today because that was very close. Too close for comfort, I can tell you that.
J.D. Vance, as your vice president, why did you arrive at that conclusion and choose the 39-year-old senator from Ohio?
Well, to be honest with you, we were going to go at Snoop Dogg, and he told me to go at J.D. Vance. And so we say, okay, we're going with J.D. He's got a beautiful beard. He's got J.D. Vance. He's got a beautiful story. They call it hillbilly elegy. So here we have the outlaw president and the hillbilly vice president. Outlaw hillbilly 2024. There's no better America message than that, I can tell you. We have an outlaw and a hillbilly going to run the country, and we're going to run it so well. We're going to run it better than anybody's ever run it before. And all of the lawn signs that say Pence, you only have to change 2 letters so we can repurpose. We could do that, because the left is going to say Green New Deal. We're going to say, well, we're going to repurpose. When they get rid of Crooked Joe, they're going to need to make all new signs. All the other stuff is going to get ruined. We're going to repurpose the Pence ones. We're going to save the planet. We're going to save America at the same time, believe me.
It's a great point.
I didn't realize that. That's true.
Take away the PE, add the VA, and
this is why, this is why the people call me a stable genius, okay? This is why they call me that.
What an amazing
Because we have the greatest ideas.
Amazing
Nobody has ideas like we do.
Amazing observation.
Mr. President, Donald J. Trump joining us. On any other normal week, one of your court cases, the classified documents case, would be the number one story in politics as Judge Eileen Cannon rules in your favor and decides to toss the entire case out. But with everything that transpired Saturday night with you and your health and then J.D. Vance, this story got shoved to the back burner, but another big victory for you in the lawfare against you over the last year and a half.
And you saw what happened after she said, case dismissed. She said, case dismissed. And Jack Smith, he's a terrible person too, deranged, walked outside of the courthouse. You see him, he looks like his chin threw up with that horrible beard. And he was doing, I call it the walk of shame. We know what it looks like, the walk of shame. Tail was between the legs, like a dog about to get shot by Kristi Noem. I can tell you that. That's what it looked like with Jack Smith. He really is horrible. But he got his, handed to him by Eileen Cannon. And I can tell you this, if I'm your president again, if we're lucky and we are blessed to have that happen, and there is a resignation in the Supreme Court, I think I know who we're using to fill the seat. Eileen Cannon. We call her, come on, Eileen. She's tremendous. And she did a fantastic job, a beautiful ruling. Jack Smith is very upset about it. He's very upset. And the real reason he was thrown off the case is because he's an ugly person. Nobody wanted to look at him for that long. That's what happened.
Donald J. Trump, a.k.a. Sean Farish, with us. Great job, as always, buddy. I would go longer with the questions in Trump mode, but we obviously have a lot of serious stuff to dissect and discuss. It's been a week since we chatted. Let's go back to Saturday, the assassination attempt on Trump's life in Pennsylvania, and now all of the information we are gathering on the Secret Service failure. Sean, I have no idea in any functional world of society, any workplace, where you could be as inept, unprepared, unqualified, and say the buck falls on you in Kimberly Cheadle, yet she keeps her job. Your thoughts on everything that has transpired with the Secret Service?
Oh, Saturday. So here's what happened on Saturday. I was sleeping when this happened, and my wife woke me up, and she says, she woke me up very nicely because, you don't want to wake up someone. I was out cold, right? And she says, you might want to be awake for this. And I was like, what's going on? She tells me there's a shooting at the Trump rally. And I said, what? That's terrible. And she goes, yeah, they're calling it an assassination attempt. I said, that's impossible. It can't be. The Secret Service wouldn't let that happen. That was my first thought, right? As someone waking up hearing Donald Trump just survived an assassination attempt, or we didn't know if he survived, but we know that there was an assassination attempt at the rally. The first thing I thought was it couldn't have been an assassination attempt. That is impossible. It's supposed to be impossible. And that's what everybody thought. And to be honest with you, that's what Donald Trump thought. That's what this whole country probably thought, right? And we find out now, a couple of days later, that the Secret Service knew of a looming threat or a potential threat an hour before it happened, knew that he was a threat and deemed him credible within 2 minutes of, finding out that he had a gun and finding out that he was a credible threat on the rooftop. And they send Donald Trump out in front of the threat anyway. Yeah. How on earth? I'm sorry. If this is just incompetence, and I joke, right? And I don't like to joke about this topic per se, because we have someone who lost his life. And honestly, how close we were to not really having a country on Saturday. And if these leftists don't stop with the stage stuff, if AOC, she came and did an Instagram Live yesterday, called Trump a neo-Nazi. If you guys don't stop, you don't understand what you're doing. All we hear about MAGA's got to tone it down. Well, I'm not the one calling someone a threat to democracy. I'm not calling Joe Biden the Nazi. If you people don't stop, all of you, MSNBC, I don't get Joy Reid, right? If you guys don't stop with this, we're going to wind up in a place. Is Joy Reid going to be fighting on the front lines of a war? No. Her and her bald head are going to be hiding somewhere, right? And Rachel Madcow, Jen, these people aren't going to be in trouble. All these people, they're not going to be the ones in the street. These people don't stop. But this is my problem, right? I know what incompetence looks like. Okay, I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Republican. These are two very incompetent organizations, okay? What we saw on Saturday, that would have to be a level of incompetence nobody has ever witnessed before. Seriously. Now, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not making a determination. What I'm saying is the Secret Service is tasked with protecting the lives of those they've been sworn to protect. Whoever the protectee is, whether it's George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Biden's family, Donald Trump, Jimmy Carter, whoever it is, right? Their job is to protect their lives. If you know of a threat, what's the number one rule with firearms? You never stand downrange of the gun, right? You never, ever stand in the path of that barrel. They knew this dude was on the roof. They knew he had a gun. They knew he was a credible and serious threat. They saw him with the rangefinder, and they put their protectee out in front of the gun anyway. You can't claim this was an accident if you knew of the threat. That's my problem here. So we are either dealing with the most grossly incompetent bunch of fools or something else far more sinister. And I'm not making a determination one way or the other. I'm leaning, honestly, I'll tell you where I'm leaning. And they go, oh, conspiracy, fine, whatever you want to label me, I really don't care. I don't see a reasonable way to wind up at the conclusion that this whole thing happened on accident. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't know who's responsible. I don't know where the buck stops. I don't know. But when you see an organization and an agency who keeps changing the story. First, it was the local police's fault. Then the local police came out, no, we were doing traffic. Then it was a sloped roof. When you see Rosie O'Donnell, there was a cow on Twitter. I kept calling her Rosie O'Donnell. And they were like, no, that's one of those mountain cows. I was like, oh, you're right. It's Joy Behar. You have these videos. My friend Matt Brown, he's from New York. He went viral in a video a picture in South Carolina. He climbed his roof and held a Trump flag. You all probably seen it. Trump 2024. It's my buddy. I love this guy. If he could do it, Secret Service could do it. She tells me she's talking about slope roof. I mean, the story just keeps changing over and over and over again. The Secret Service right now is making it impossible for people like me to believe that this happened on accident. You cannot have a guy who you are tasked with protecting his life and at the same time know there's a guy with a gun pointing it at your protectee and you send him out anyway. And worse than that, you have an audience of tens of thousands of people. If that kid had some change of heart, right, where he was like, you know what, Trump is just one guy. I want to take out X amount of people. He could have sprayed that audience because Secret Service decided, well, the roof is too steep or we don't know what we're going to do, and they left them up there. This is the whole top to bottom. Secret Service needs to be thoroughly investigated and gutted of anybody who is not competent. You want to know what DEI gets you? DEI gets you Cheadle. DEI, we're going to hire 30% women. Yeah, women who can't holster their gun? Are we going to do that? Because I have no problem with a woman who's competent with a firearm. None. But the point is competent. The point is you have to be able to, you have to earn your position, right? Mm-hmm. You have now other protectees, like I said, Obama, Bush, Carter, the Bidens. How come they're not calling for any investigations into the Secret Service? If it's that, if that agency is that incompetent, if you're leading me to believe that this was strictly incompetence, why are all of the other Secret Service protectees not coming out and saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable at this point, if they let him almost take a bullet, or they actually did take a bullet, right?
Yep.
I don't get it. There is so much not adding up here about this story. We, the American people, deserve answers, okay? If Cheadle's not going to answer these questions, I'm serious. If she's not coming in for these hearings next week, I want her dragged in there by her hair by the court martial, because we came not the court martial, the sergeant of arms in the House. We came within a millimeter of not having a country, a millimeter, okay? Divine intervention, 100%. That's where I am with this. You are going to have a hard time selling me that this was just gross incompetence. You have a hard time. You're telling me that a 20-year-old outsmarted and outmaneuvered the Secret Service? A 20-year-old who couldn't even make his rifle team in high school? Really? Seriously? That's what we're doing here? That's the story you're going with? What else do you want me to believe in? Right? Oceanfront property in Arizona, like George Strait says? This is ridiculous. I am so angry about it. And anger is dangerous, right? Because, you could do some real bad things. I put a video up Sunday morning and said, if you're angry, you're not alone. Use that to motivate your friends, to let them know that these leftists are the actual extremists. Okay, when you repeatedly refer to Donald Trump as Hitler, like Joy Reid does, like Jake Tapper did, like so many people, they run their mouth. Rachel Madcow on MSNBC, running their mouth. Right? When you repeatedly do that, you are sowing the seeds, right, in the minds of these people that assassination is justified because he's Hitler. Mm-hmm. There is no comparison, none, between Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler. Well, they use the same. Well, words are words. Have you not used the word poisoned before? I mean, come on, let's be serious here now. And we hear claims, turn down the rhetoric, right? Let's turn down the temperature. And then you have AOC last night calling Donald Trump a neo-Nazi. You have, that wasn't even 48 hours, and the Biden account on X is posting, J.D. Vance, a far-right extremist. Screw you and your calls. You people are the ones who caused this. All of you who are guilty of this extremist, ridiculous language. This guy's message is make America great again. And your message is he's a threat to our country. Are you shocked that somebody tried to shoot him? This is on you. On the left, it is on you. Squarely on you that we are here. That's the point. What Donald Trump says inflammatory. When is he ever? Peacefully and patriotically? Well, those are big, scary words. I cannot believe what took place on Saturday. And I am more ashamed of some of these people I thought were reasonable people in this country who are now saying, it was staged. And I also don't like the people who say he missed, because the shooter didn't miss. He didn't miss Corey Comparator. He didn't miss the other two folks who got shot, and he didn't miss Donald Trump. We are lucky that he turned his head, that God had other plans. We are very, very lucky, because if that had been successful, if this was not a near assassination and this was an assassination, right? We don't have a country right now. And that is, we came this close. It's so scary to think about. I go on and on about Saturday. To me, this feels like 9/11. That was the biggest attack on our country. July 13th.
since the Civil War. You could take your J6 narrative and shove it where the sun don't shine, right where Obama likes it, okay? Which could be the mouth or the other area, all right?
Oh, my God.
This attack on Trump was not just an attack on Trump. It was an attack on our entire country. And you have 1/3 of Democrats who think this was staged?
Yeah.
You know what? Give me a break.
Yeah, Stocker brought that up earlier. That's amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on Trump and the unity message and his demeanor on the other side, as well as your thoughts on your guy, J.D. Vance. You were projecting and predicting that, so we'll get to that, as well as just all the energy from the RNC, and then we'll get to your thoughts on Joe, Kamala, and what could be Biden's last weekend in the race officially. We'll do all of that. Sean's going to stick around until about 9:15 this morning, and we'll get to that on the other side. But first, we're getting close, just 2 days away. The Bend to the Shore Bike Tour is back. It's this Sunday, July 21st, and you can ride 65 miles from Philly to AC or 30 miles from Hamilton. Family-friendly celebration at the Showboat Hotel. And, of course, you can sign up to ride or donate. We're just about $1,200 away from reaching our $20,000 goal. Visit bend2shore.org. And when you sign up with the code NICK1210, they'll knock $25 off your registration fee. That's bend2shore.org. Promo code NICK1210. Let's show everybody how WPHT and Odyssey supports law enforcement. FBBCF provides financial relief for the families of fallen and injured first responders, and they support the Police Youth Alliance, which fosters a positive relationship between police and youth.
Getting ready for that big summer road trip, you got to make sure your vehicle is road trip ready, which brings me to my friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles. Yeah, Piazza Premium Automobiles are always going to help you make sure that you and your family are safe on the roads this summer. And the service centers of the Piazza Premium dealers not only handle all your regular maintenance stuff, but also diagnose possible issues before they can happen. Just schedule a service appointment online today. Visit them at piazzapremiumautomobiles.com. A shout out to Rick and Linda. Actually approached my husband, Larry, recently and said, we went to Piazza just because we heard Dawn talking about it, and we're big Piazza customers as well. So thank you for listening every day, Rick and Linda. And that's just it. We appreciate Piazza. They're everywhere across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. So just visit them, check them out online for that location nearest you. Piazza, piazzapremiumautomobiles.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
We're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Your official home for Penn State football and basketball is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app. Listen to every Nittany Lions game on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats? Well, the joy of early bedtimes. And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are offering to qualified buyers a maximum discount of $13,176. This offer is good on all 2024 XC90s in stock. $13,176. Plus, the Cherry Hill Volvo 2024 model year sell down. Pricing and attention to detail here is not to be missed. Volvo should be on your shopping list now. This is the time to purchase from Cherry Hill Volvo.
Lace up your sneakers for Independence Blue Cross Senior Stroll the Bases on Wednesday, August 28th, when fans 55 and over get a chance to circle the diamond following the Phillies-Astros game starting at 4:05. Secure your seats at Phillies.com. Join us as we honor the late, great former Phillies president and CEO David Montgomery on Toyota Phillies Wall of Fame Night, Saturday, August 17th at 6:05 when the Phils host the Nats. Order tickets now at Phillies.com.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by Advocacy United, this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that'll affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Kayal and Company, 9 o'clock hour underway here on a Friday morning, brought to you by American Heritage Credit Union. Buying a home? Well, if you are, with the My CU Home Connection program through American Heritage Credit Union, you can unlock exclusive cash rewards, benefits, and discounts. Learn more at AmericanHeritageCU.org/home connection. Insured by NCUA, not a member. Join today. NMLS 433838. Sean Farish is with us live from Nashville this morning. And I want to get to the Trump unity theme, speech, mantra. It's very interesting. A lot of us very passionate in the media about what transpired since Saturday. Who's at fault? Blame the Secret Service. Yet Donald Trump specifically has taken a different approach. And I thought last night's speech on unity was really, really good. In fact, it's so good, a Democratic pollster, Doug Schoen, explaining how former President Trump's speech related to 100% of the American people. Keep in mind, a Democratic pollster saying this, saying that Trump did something he's never done before with the RNC speech. The election may be over. I just retweeted that if you want to read the full context. Sean, your thoughts on the way Trump has approached this with a sense of gratitude, humility, and just decorum, where in the past it's always guns a-blazing. Is this a brief detour in Trump's attitude, or do you think maybe this is the course he will take in the next 3.5 months?
Well, I think for the next 3.5 months, this is a good course. A lot of people kind of were like, he was subdued last night. Guy was shot. I'd be subdued too. And you also, look, this is why I don't run for president. That's why I'm not running for office, because I would have been out there declaring war on people last night. It would have been no good. You know, I would have taken matters into my own hands and probably not would have wound up well for me or a lot of other people. It's just that's the state of things, right? I'm angry still over Saturday, and I feel like I might be more angry than Trump, which is odd based off of what we looked at. That speech last night was different. It was, it was long. Oh, it lasted too long. All right, well, then go to bed and watch it tomorrow, right? Jake Tapper, CNN, you weren't watching the speech anyway. They had their backs turned to him like disrespectful slobs anyway, right? Just like anybody who compared Donald Trump to Hitler is a disrespectful slob, okay? So go back, check your tweets, because I'm going to start going through all the leftists and see if you've ever compared Trump to Hitler. And if I see that, I'm going to tweet out and say, you're a disrespectful slob, because that's what added to what happened on Saturday. I think Donald Trump's message of unity, I think his speech last night was it made sense to people. Like you said, like Doug Schoen said, it made sense to people. You know, he talks about immigration. He talks about the inflation issues. He talks about how Russia took nothing under Donald Trump. There was nothing that was unclear about last night. And you have, Jasmine Crockett. What are we watching? He's rambling. Really, Jasmine, with your fake eyelashes rambling? Do me a favor. Don't blink too hard. You might fly away, okay? Because she's got like wings on her eyes. These people, AOC, we have to stay behind Biden. Well, I mean, yeah, one idiot chooses another idiot, I guess. Well, AOC's excuse can't be dementia, though. That's the problem. Okay, she's still young. I'm watching the reactions of everybody to this speech. The left is, the election's now Bari Weiss. The election is now a toss-up. And I wouldn't call her a member of the left, but, how is the election a toss-up? Because his speech went long. How do we arrive at these conclusions? Mm-hmm. I thought it was good. I thought it was dignified. I thought it was very dignified last night. And look, you had the fun and the wild and crazy that we usually get during a Trump speech, but you had it from Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock and Dana White. So Donald Trump played a different role last night. He played that elder statesman, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that is appealing to more people than just the Republican Party. You have to appeal to more people than just your party at the end of the day. He's doing well among independents in every poll that is coming out. And I think last night's sensible, calm speech, it was calm, plays well for the independents. They're not looking for some guy after everybody's calling to tone it down. They're not looking for someone like me to jump up there. Independents aren't going, this guy, Cheadle's got to go, and this one's got. They're looking for a calming, unifying, reassuring voice that even though that happened on Saturday, despite what 1/3 of idiot Democrats think, he still wants to bring this country together and let cooler heads prevail, which is the better outcome. I will say he's handling a lot better than I am. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, what's remarkable is you look at some of the policies, and they are very much common sense, and some of them where he stands on certain specific issues are not even super conservative. J.D. Vance more conservative on, abortion than Trump is. You can argue Trump's a moderate in some regards as well. Now, if you just take the one thing that people never seemingly let go, that are either voters of his but don't like the shenanigans, or who are the never Trumpers, if he just took some of that common sense dialed back approach to his presentation on top of the policies that were super effective for the first 3 years, he would be a runaway no-brainer in my opinion. And now we have and that was great. You just drop the PE, add the VA, and the ticket looks the same. Trump, Vance. Yes. JD was your guy. You said it many times on this show. I got to imagine that you absolutely think this is a home run pick.
Oh, so happy when it finally came out because, there was this push for Doug Burgum and Nikki Haley. I was like, no, there's no way. But we've seen Trump flub some personnel picks in the past. And I was like, no, please don't make the same mistake. And there are some people who are still kind of apprehensive about the Vance pick because of what he said in the past. But I look at that and I say, look, if you're not allowed to say things in the past, and I'm not talking about like a week ago, I'm talking about, this is 9 years ago at this point almost, that he's talking about how, he even said Trump, and Hitler and this whole thing. But on a debate stage, on television, publicly said, I was wrong. He said it, right? He atoned for it. He apologized. He said he was wrong. And this wasn't an empty apology where he says he was wrong and then did all these things to undermine Trump and the MAGA agenda. He then goes into the Senate. He's elected into the Senate, and he is an absolute rock star. He is out there trying to put America first, advocating for less foreign aid. Any money that's being sent outside of the United States, we're saying, why is it going there? That's the type of person, that's the new brand of populism that I want in the Republican Party, right? And I want a guy who can look at facts and look at information as it's coming out and analyze it, digest it, and then make the appropriate, reaction to it as J.D. Vance did. He thought one thing about Donald Trump, And then he said, he saw that Trump was exposing the deep state, and his eyes were opened, and he came around to the idea that the way he used to think was bad. And look, if we're not going to allow people, you can have a conversation about Amber Rose, we can have this conversation about J.D. Vance. If we as a movement are not going to allow people to be swayed to join our movement, we're never going to survive. That's just the point. If we are going to be looking at it going, well, you once said something bad about Donald Trump, or you once voted Democrat, or you once questioned something, or you were once supporting Hillary Clinton, then Donald Trump is disqualified, right? Because he used to be Hillary's friend? Or can we go that far? We shouldn't. If we are not going to allow ourselves the ability to persuade people to change their minds, if we're then going to attack somebody after they change their mind, we're attacking them for essentially changing their mind, right? For holding one view and then abandoning that view and coming to our way of thinking, and we're never going to grow. We can't be that party. We can't be like the left, where you go back years and go, well, this person wore blackface, and this person, misgendered that one, and that one was, this person said, we can't do that. We just can't do that, because you know what? Nobody's perfect. Everybody has said things. I was a Democrat. Trump was a Democrat. I wasn't on board with Trump immediately in 2016. It took me a while to be sold. The criticisms of him are still up all over my social media because I'm not ashamed of it. I'm showing people, hey, I came around too. J.D. Vance came around too. That's a guy who can now be relatable. We talked about the speech last night, Trump's speech. He can now be relatable to so many people who may hold the same view that Vance held 8 years ago. And he can go to them and say, I know why you're thinking that. I know exactly where you are. Here's what changed my mind. Why don't you give this a try? That's what's great about J.D. Vance. And the other thing, you saw his speech, right, on Wednesday night, J.D. Vance's speech. It didn't look polished. It didn't look coached. He didn't come off as a smarmy guy. He came off as a goofy little hillbilly who was excited that his mom was there. He was telling stories about his grandmother, smiling and laughing, feeding off of the energy of the crowd. It was real. It was authentic. It was a breath of fresh air, right? This is a guy, I think that's the heir apparent, unless he screws up, right? I think that's the heir apparent. I think DeSantis is big mad, right? I think he's pretty upset about it because he was going to be the heir apparent. Now it's Vance. And listen, and it's not about DeSantis, but I like to, throw that in there because he screwed it up. I think Vance is your heir apparent. I am so excited about this pick. And, I don't think he could have made a better choice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think
he signaled to the Republican Party that that this is the future of the party. So
that's right.
So this is where we're going. So you're either on board or you're not. Like we said earlier, Nick, our grandparents' Republican Party is officially gone.
Yeah, Britt Hume just had no idea what was going on. He was just looking around. He's like, where am I right now?
He was good. He has the perspective, though, right? As the grandfather who says he's around Joe Biden's age. The only thing I would say to you, Sean Farish, is that it's different when it's J.D. Vance, or you think of J.D. Vance 8 years ago. He was barely 30, right? And so I think for somebody who, let's say, is a millennial who was evolving in their politics, which a lot of people do, yes, I would agree with you. That's acceptable. But for somebody like Chris Christie, I don't think he's allowed.
Sloppy Chris Christie.
Right? I mean, I don't think he's allowed to go, well, if I've evolved and I'm back on Team Trump, right?
Well, here's the thing. If Chris Christie were to do that, right? If Chris Christie were to say, I'm evolved and I'm back on Team Trump, I would say, welcome back to Team Trump. I could use your vote, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not giving him a position.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for that guy to be vice president, but I want his vote. I want Chris Christie to vote for Trump. If Donald Trump comes out, we're going to give free donuts every Thursday just to get his vote because we need every single vote done, right? Yeah.
Which is a good idea.
I say we're doing the largest deportation. I said the largest deportation was going to be Chris Christie because he's physically the largest person the world has ever seen. We're not going to deport him anymore. And we get his vote. We need every single vote. That's why the Amber Rose thing, I don't like her. I don't even know who she is. I got to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
I never heard of her before we started going crazy.
She's big with,
why does
she's
everyone
a
hate
big
this woman?
influencer.
Yeah,
she's got a weird past, right? She's got like the whole, I don't know, there was a Satan thing. Look, that's the RNC convention. It ain't church. That's number one. Okay? There was all sorts of dirty stuff, but her vote and my vote count for the same. It's supposed to anyway. And she's got 30+ million followers that I can't reach, right? I can't reach them. They think I'm a racist. But when they hear it come from, Amber Rose's mouth, say, hey, I was wrong about, she has influence. Let her talk. Nobody's asking her to be a role model. I'm not saying she's got to be a preacher. I'm not saying we have to go ahead and walk in the footsteps of Amber Rose. I certainly wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want children to do that. Fine. But if she's going to influence millions of people, some of whom are minority voters, to vote for Trump, I welcome that.
Yep.
Now, again, I'm not giving her a position in the administration. That's not what I'm saying. Chris Christie comes around. Yeah, I've evolved. Well, he's stuffing his face. He's not VP, but I could use his vote. Every vote counts, and that's what we need to do.
Yep. Sean Ferris joining us here on Kayal and Company. Let's get to the other side of the aisle. The big news that we could see Joe Biden step down and, step aside as early as this weekend. A lot of people believe it could happen on Sunday. You referred to Kamala Harris versus Trump and how Trump's doing very well with independents. The latest CBS News /YouGov poll, Trump leads Kamala Harris in a hypothetical matchup by 3 points, but he leads her with independents by 11 points. And I said this earlier this morning. Think about the timing of this and also the irony. In a week and a half, we have seen Tractor Supply Company, John Deere, and Microsoft all abandon their DEI initiatives. And the Democrats are now relegated to kicking Joe to the curb for the legitimate dictionary definition of DEI hire in Kamala Harris. I relish it. I mean, I would love for Biden to stay because I think Trump would beat Biden by more right now than he would Harris. But if Kamala is next in line and they're fearful of leapfrogging her for somebody else, I say bring on Kamala Harris because I think the outcome will be the same.
Yeah, and I think this, right? So you heard that, Biden's got COVID again, right? So here we go. So Donald Trump gets shot in the ear. He pops back up, and he's at the RNC like a day and a half later. Joe Biden gets a glorified cold, and he can't go out of the house. I mean, come on, what are we doing here, right? So from that standpoint, obviously Biden's not viable. We know he's not viable, but the voters chose him. Are we really going to subvert democracy over in the Democrat Party? Maybe. It wouldn't be the first time. But if we're going to go with Harris, there's no way. See, there's only one reason why that report yesterday, and I like Mark Halperin, I respect him, and I understand he's got sources telling him things. But the one thing that makes me cast doubt on the legitimacy of that story, not that Biden wouldn't drop out, but this particular story and this particular rumor is that he wouldn't endorse Kamala Harris. And I just don't think that would be the way it is. Now, maybe that was floated as a negotiation tool by the Biden camp, right? To say, if you want me to endorse Harris, you got to give, 10% for the big guy, right? Or something like that. But I don't see a situation where he bows out of the race and then doesn't endorse the person who's going to be, carrying the torch. And he wouldn't be leaving the office of the presidency. He would be finishing out his term, which means Kamala Harris would be campaigning for president of the United States as vice president of the United States. So they're still going to have to get along, okay? He can't drop out of the presidential race and then not endorse the person who's still going to be serving as his VP. It just isn't going to work. So either that part of the story was wrong, or the whole story was just rumors. We've seen it before. Or maybe there is legitimacy and there's a ton of friction. I wouldn't be shocked if there was friction. I would say there's more likely if Biden drops out, he's going to endorse Kamala.
Let me wrap with this. Let's get to the entertainment from the RNC last night. You had Hulk Hogan, you had Dana White, you had Kid Rock. There was a report that 50 Cent was going to be there. He was not. Just the energy, and when you think about the DNC coming up at it was August 19th to the 22nd, so we're just about a month away from that. They're going to take it for what it's worth. It's the Republican convention. It's, it's a lot like X or Rumble. It's a lot of people that are thinking one way. Same thing with the DNC. It's a lot like Facebook, people thinking one way. They're going to have an unbelievably tough act to follow. I mean, for 2 straight days, J.D. Vance, of all people, super poetic, saying, you look at the stark contrast in the two parties right now. I don't know what energizes Democrats right now, short of Michelle Obama, which we know is not going to happen in all likelihood. But then again, I didn't think Trump would get shot in the ear. Short of a Michelle Obama injection, I don't see anything that galvanizes and unites and energizes Democrats right now. It's not Kamala. I don't think it would, even though I think Josh Shapiro could be successful, I don't think people are going to be pounding their chest and fist pumping to Josh Shapiro. They're stuck between a rock and a hard spot right now, and that RNC convention was a storyteller's wet dreams, so to speak. I mean, the stories that were being told, and they didn't hit you with the border numbers and the stuff that Republicans typically do. They took a page out of the Democrats' playbook and went with storytelling, and that's another thing that J.D. Vance is really good at. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah, and I think, to contrast what we're about to see at the DNC, right? So they're going to have to virtually nominate their nominee, whoever it is, because of the Ohio ruling, of the Ohio law, right? So they're going to have to virtually nominate them before the August 19th, I think it is, convention. But look, I actually posted this yesterday. I said the RNC has Hulk Hogan giving a speech about being a real American, right? Well, the DNC is probably going to have some blue-haired, non-binary freak preaching about DEI. I mean, you tell me what's the more relatable message, right? I don't know what gender I am, and vote for us because we need to tolerate me. Or, let me tell you something, brother. Like that guy ripping his shirt off.
Amazing.
I mean, that's what I want, right? So let's go. The party of America, okay? You have the outlaw president, the hillbilly vice president, a real American Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off on stage, getting everyone all jacked up. Kid Rock flipping out, going crazy. Jason Aldean's in the stands. This is the party. Lee Greenwood, 81 years old, getting through his song, doing it in majestic fashion. The guy you're voting for president just survived an assassination attempt. That's the party of America. I don't even see the appeal for Democrats right now. The only thing they've got is the anti-Trump vote. And there's still plenty of that, despite the fact that what happened on Saturday. And look, you could be anti-somebody. You could be anti-Trump, regardless of whether or not, someone tried to take his life. But we got to stop with with the Hitler rhetoric and the Nazi rhetoric and all that, because that is the most dangerous. When you tell people that someone is legitimately a Nazi, you give them the idea that if you were to take violent action against that person, it would be justified. And we cannot create a climate like that in this country. You should not fear for your life that you're going to a political rally. And I understand everything in life has its risks, but Corey Comparator should not have been killed at a political rally. He should be able to freely express his political opinions free of fear, right? And now you're dealing with an entirely different perspective on the whole thing, especially when you look at the quote-unquote incompetence of the Secret Service. They failed to keep Trump safe. They failed to keep the audience safe. And there's got to be some sort of accountability. And everybody should be rallying around that idea so that not only Donald Trump and his supporters stay safe, but if you're an opponent of Donald Trump and you go to an opposing political rally with a presidential candidate, past or a former president, a future president, the current president, you want to feel safe too. I want leftists to feel safe at a Biden rally. And if you tell me the Secret Service is that incompetent, well, then you're not safe at a Biden rally. And that's a problem for me, for anybody in this country. We should be allowed to go to, we should feel free to go to these political events and attend them without fear of dying. And I think that has changed now since Saturday's events.
Sean Farish, great stuff as always, buddy. On fire. Go take a shower, towel off, and we'll chat again next week. All right, pal?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it. Sean Farish. How about that line? He goes, when he's talking about the ineptitude of the Secret Service, he goes, I'm a Jets fan and a Republican. I know incompetence.
That's amazing.
All right, let's get to our morning mystery movie clip.
And now, the morning mystery movie clip on Kayal and Company. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Look, Simba. Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
You rule all of that?
Yes, but a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
That's a tough one.
All of this will belong to me?
Think you know what it is? Be call at 12 at 855-839-1210, and you could win this great prize.
All right, final 4-pack of tickets to the Reading Phillies as they take on the Hartford Yard Goats on Sunday, August 4th in Reading, Pennsylvania. Caller 12-855-839-1210. If you can identify that difficult clip, we will give you the Reading Phillies 4-pack of tickets. Caller 12-855-839-1210. Get our winner and more of the cut sheet when we continue. We like to call it Part Due, and we'll do that next. Here on Kayal and Company, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit easyOutRealEstate.com. This is Larry Steinhaus of Investor Schooling. Did you know we are having a full one-day event on August 17th? It's called the Money Hacks event. You want to come to this event and you will learn how to become your own bank, how to invest in real estate without any money. You will learn the stock market, and you will learn how to build credit for cash-flowing assets, and so much more. It's a full day packed with information. Use the code 1210, that's 1210, to get a 50% discount on the ticket. Go to 4mmw.com, that's 4mmw.com, and register today.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey pet parents, the summer season is here, and that means it's time to get outside and enjoy some sunshine with your pet. Hi, I'm George Parenti, the lead dog at the Dogs and Cats Rules stores. The stores are loaded with great summer collections of outdoor and interactive toys. We carry the finest selection of fresh diets, like gently cooked, raw, freeze-dried, air-dried, dehydrated, baked, and of course traditional kibble and cans. Dogs and Cats Rule with 7 neighborhood locations. Visit dogsandcatsrule.pet. That's Dogs and Cats Rule. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
You're driving along when you realize...
Oh, I've got to get over. Oh my gosh, sorry!
You didn't see him, did you? He was in your blind spot. You can also have a blind spot when it comes to your retirement. That's where Joe Yakovich of JML Financial Group comes in. He knows about a little blind spot called taxes. Social Security, your pension, your investments, all can be taxable. Look, you don't want to end up saying...
Will I be writing huge checks to the government when I retire?
Don't get blindsided by taxes. Make sure your retirement plan has a tax plan. With one call to JML Financial Group, 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company. JML Financial Group does not offer legal or tax advice. Please consult the appropriate professional regarding your individual circumstance.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are offering to qualified buyers a maximum discount of $13,176. This offer is good on all 2024 XC90s in stock, $13,176. Plus, the Cherry Hill Volvo 2024 model year sell down. Pricing and attention to detail here is not to be missed. Volvo should be on your shopping list now. This is the time to purchase from Cherry Hill Volvo.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Philadelphia? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Philadelphia for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Philadelphia is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Philadelphia and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Discover the 2024 Tundra at Tri-County Toyota. Right now, get $1,000 customer cash or enjoy financing starting at just 1.99%. Plus, with Tri-County for Life, your engine, parts, and service are guaranteed for life. Enjoy free PA inspections and much more. We're easy to find off the Limerick exit at 422. Visit TriCountyAuto.net today for more details and experience the Tri-County difference.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage. By switching to a Navien tankless water heater, not only will you have all the hot water you need whenever you need it, but you'll gain storage area as well. Maybe a place to display your space collectibles.
Highly logical.
Learn about Navien's series of high-efficiency tankless water heaters and how they don't just save space, but save dollars on your utility bills too. For more, go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through September 15th, purchase high-quality GAF with Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
Rich Cioli this afternoon, 3 till 7. Kayal and Company now on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Kayal and Company, 9:30 Friday morning. Nick, Dawn, and Greg, 855-839-1210. Cut sheet part due in just a few moments. What's on tap for the Dawn Show coming up in about 20. Today in music history, all still on the way. Don't forget, bike ride coming up on Sunday, and we are closing in on $1,000 away from our goal. Can we get there in the next 30 minutes?
$1,200. We just need $1,200. So if you're listening right now, please, our goal is $20,000. GregStockerSucks.com. And for the argument that I had with Dawn, a lot of you right now are feeling that Greg Stocker does suck. Because Dawn,
we got a lot of calls.
It was overwhelmingly in support of you, which I'm glad of, because you know I love you.
Fight.
So if you really do believe I suck, GregStockerSucks.com, please donate. We need $1,200. That's it. Just $1,200 to reach our $20,000 goal. GregStockerSucks.com. All the money goes to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. Please help us hit our goal. Please. Because Greg Stocker sucks.
I'm preaching unity, brother.
Yeah, I know.
I'm preaching unity. It's fine. U-N-I-T-Y. All right, we've got Angela in Philadelphia. She's our winner this morning. Angela, what tough movie clip did we play for you a few minutes ago?
The Lion King.
The Lion King, yes. The 2019 version, correct? Congratulations. You've got the 4-pack of Reading Phillies tickets. Thank you very much, Angela.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Angela, joining us, and we appreciate you listening and playing. All right, let's get to what's left on What's on the Cut Sheet Part 2.
What's on the Cut Sheet?
Part 2. What's on the Cut Sheet Part News, sponsored by Holland Floor Covering. It's the region's premier flooring dealer. Holland Floor Covering, family operated for over 50 years, providing exceptional service and professional installation. Visit their 2 showrooms in Wayne and Newtown. No charge samples, no obligation estimates. Learn more at hollandfloor.com. That's Holland, HOLLAND floor.com. Thank you, hollandfloor.com, for sponsoring the ever-important Friday edition of What's on the Cut Sheet, Part 2. Yes, we made reference to this earlier, Nick Kayal, that MSNBC is using a fake background to give the appearance. Now, there is a chyron that says live from New York. So, like,
Yeah.
But they're giving the appearance that they're in Milwaukee for the RNC.
It'd be like me jumping on a Zoom call with the background of New York City if I'm in Philadelphia.
Well, I mean, you could do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
But the chyron is actually critical in what gets them off the hook.
What do you mean?
That's why they're doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean, we can say we're broadcasting from anywhere. High atop the
Empire State Building.
All right, this is
It's just sleazy.
This is that little shot from CNN. I like to see CNN go after MSNBC.
I like this, yeah.
Yeah. Cut 24, Phil, go.
So good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
First of all,
And you're actually here live.
we are here
You're
live,
live. Just
as,
wanted to point
as
that out.
opposed to some other networks that just have a big LED. Who shall remain nameless? So, you've spoken with President Trump's.
Wow.
Fake tapper throwing haymakers.
Woo!
Did I see a smile on Dana Bash's face? That's a first. Wow.
That is amazing.
Well, I mean,
love
it's really hard for you to show your face at the RNC when you employ people that routinely call Donald Trump Hitler. Now, I guess you could say, well, CNN and Tapper has done the same, but MSNBC just takes it to a feverish pitch that even CNN can't match the disdain for Trump. I really used to think CNN was the top of the charts for the Trump hatred, but in the last 4 years, MSNBC has just gone. They've literally blown him out of the water.
You know, when I look at the New York Post, everybody's covering this, of course, but when you look at the photo, and it absolutely looks like, because they've superimposed it, if you were a viewer, it says breaking news, RNC kicks off. You see the people up on the set, and then you see the backdrop of those at the convention. Then in the right-hand screen corner, tonight, 9 p.m., but it says MSNBC. It just says live. On this particular screen grab, it just says live. Now, maybe they've altered that after being criticized.
Mm-hmm.
This one just says they're live. It doesn't say live from New York City.
Okay. Yep.
So people were apparently getting screen grabs. Now, again, if they did the right thing, if they felt that, okay, point well taken, and maybe now they're doing live New York City, but initially when it kicked off, they were not doing that. If you look at it, there's no way to know that they're not there.
They are backpedaling, and they are on the defensive since June 27th. We gave you the numbers last week. Their ratings since the debate have tanked. Joy Reid has now locked her tweets. You can't see what she tweets unless she accepts your follow, because she probably doesn't want people grabbing the screen grabs of her calling Trump Hitler. You don't go to the RNC, and you've also yanked Morning Joe the Monday after Trump was almost killed. Not a good 3 weeks for MSNBC.
It's true, and they deserve to be called out. And I'm glad they altered their on-screen image to be a little more honest. But it shows you that it was just kind of a sleazy move. I will also say this, and I know it's self-involved to think anybody. I don't know, but I do feel Greg has long since said that there are producers that I think Greg's friends with or whatever that listen to Kayal and Company. But I swear, yesterday I was driving around and I was back and forth, and I was listening as Fox came on, and they said, okay, and we do have our stick mics, and we're holding them close to our mouths so that you can hear us. And I was like,
I know.
Oh my gosh!
I know for a fact. That some of the 7 p.m. hosts, producers, listen to the show. I know for a fact.
And that's when this right around the time, and they said, "We have the stick mics. We know that you." And it was. I laughed out loud.
By the way, thank you, June Kirk, a $200 donation.
Woo, June!
Thank you, June.
We are now at $18,935.
Wow!
So
thank you, June.
Just over $1,065.
$1,065.
That's correct.
Away.
Yes.
From
20 grand.
Wow. Can we do it in 20 minutes?
Well, what would you give? What would you do?
Musical control till Labor Day.
No. Yeah.
How about a backstage pass to that Don Jr.?
I don't have authority,
Can't do
Dawn,
that.
to do that.
2 hours
this has been
in
taken out of my
Stocker's
hands.
You could be
personal
like
swimming
Nick's
pool.
date.
This is now been taken over by the Collingswood Police Department. So it's
Oh, yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, okay. Yeah. So
Now, are they understaffed?
I don't know. It's a good point. All right, if you make $1,000 donation right now, I will. You will get the playlist, the music playlist for the last 2 weeks of the summer. So the last 2 weeks in August.
The last 2 weeks, Greg's off.
Are you off the last 2
No,
weeks
I'm
again?
not.
Oh, okay, good.
I might be. It's so.
I'm gonna get in my contract. I'll just be Greg and Stephanie's nanny. So I'll just like,
GregStalkerSucks.com. Right now, if you donate $1,000 to the Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation, you will get the musical selections for Kayal and Company for the last 2 weeks of August. Okay. Mika Brzezinski, speaking of MSNBC and Morning Joe, talking about Biden leaving the race. Because you said, Nick Kayal, in your big take this morning, which if you haven't listened to, go back at about 6:15 this morning on the Rewind feature of the program, and you can hear the big take because nobody saw it because it wasn't on YouTube. You said that the Morning Joes have done a complete 180 as far as Joe Biden is the greatest president and the most with-it president that's ever lived. Yep. They say, well, maybe he'll drop out. Mika Brzezinski said that if Biden leaves the race, the Dems will regret it.
Okay.
This is cut 20, Phil, go.
He started pushing back, and I think part of that is giving him the space to make this decision, to finish making this decision with his family this weekend.
He's also a man of faith and a man of tremendous historic accomplishment. And look, it's impossible to ignore where this is going and exactly what started it. I'm not unaware of that. At the same time, I still believe that you don't know what you have until it's gone, and that there will be that feeling at some point.
You think there'll be if he leaves the race, you think Democrats will regret it?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Because among many reasons, which I've already stated and I won't state again, don't worry, but none of these notions are backed by a strong alternative, an alternative that has beat Trump before, an alternative that is vetted, an alternative that is tested. And so that's a lot to throw away.
So hubby and wifey are in disagreement.
Mika's right.
Mika says the Dems will regret it.
Wow.
Joe says, I want Joe to go. Sorry, older Joe, but younger Joe says you won't be tuning into me to watch my show anymore as the nominee of the Democratic Party.
Mika's right. Mika is the shame about that. Part of the reason I can't stand this show is that Mika, who I knew from my CBS News days, I mean, she is, first of all, she's loyal as well. She wasn't loyal to Trump, but maybe she was never friends with Trump because Joe was back when he was a Republican. But she, in her heart of her original heart of being a journalist and an analyst, she's correct in this, that they're all freaking out because they just want to win, but they have nobody. And what they don't get, all the Democrats know somebody like Josh Shapiro, right? And he may very well, certainly he'll run someday for president. But the nation, when you think about a brand, and our brand manager, Greg Stocker, right?
Thank you.
Brand.
Yes.
So when you think about a brand, Joe Biden is a brand. And as you've said repeatedly, you guys, a lot of people, they're on summer vacation. We live and breathe this stuff, as do all these Democrats and these partisan politicians, but most normal people don't.
Yep.
So some people might be getting ready for their back to school stuff and all of a sudden go, what?
Well, the reason
Joe Biden's backing out? What the heck? And who, no. So she is right.
Well, the reason they have no viable alternative is twofold. One, Joe Biden has publicly admitted he was a transition candidate, and the reason he can sit there and say, well, I'm running again because Trump's running again. No, he's running again because Kamala, who was supposed to be the receiving end of the transition, they've all realized she's incompetent and she likely will not be able to beat Donald Trump. And then the second part of this is everything with identity politics. You start bringing in everybody just so, well, our party looks like all of America, and then you realize how incompetent so many of these people are. To me, like I've said, and I'll be consistent with this, if Biden, Kamala, Newsom, or Hillary are the Democrat options, I'm taking Trump to win, prediction-wise. If they go totally outside of the box, whether it's Michelle Obama, Josh Shapiro, somebody else that we're not thinking of off the top of my head, that will be the, oh, no, Trump might be on the losing end of things. That's where I feel right now.
I think that what they're looking at is that any way you look at it, Trump is winning. I think he is winning. Although I always worry and pray, and I hate even jinxing it, but I do. I think they have resigned themselves to think Trump is winning. What they're trying to do is mitigate the loss down ticket. And I will tell you this here: I don't know that Trump has coattails, as much as we think, and that's another fear of mine. Mm-hmm. That what they're really strategizing here, and maybe not what Mika doesn't really see, is maybe they're just looking at saying, hey, we're keeping to the commitment, here's the future, and they're able to get away from the Biden administration mistakes by saying, yeah, we made some mistakes in the past, let's honor Joe, yay, but here's the future, and then that lets them pivot and keep the down ballot situation from not being a bloodbath.
Let me ask you a question, Dawn. If you think that Trump is going to win no matter what, which I don't disagree with, but my question is that why, Joe Biden is basically a vegetable. So why are the polls still so close?
Trump hatred.
Because I think that
they would vote for a dead corpse.
Well, I think that what they're...
But to that point,
I think that the Democrats are not energized. And so that means a lot of people just might not vote, which is why the mail-in thing matters.
The only energy they have is their disdain for Trump. They're not juiced or jacked for Joe or Kamala. You would talk about hypotheticals. How crazy would it be if they determine and they have their internal Democrat polling and they come to the conclusion that Pennsylvania determines this election, and they go to Shapiro and say, you need to be the guy. I don't care if you're ready. I don't care if you want it yet or if you want to wait. We need you now. How insane will this fall be here in our own backyard if it's Trump versus Shapiro? Winner takes Pennsylvania, winner takes all.
But, okay, think about what you just said. Why would they choose Shapiro? Because what Shapiro, again, if they've just resigned themselves to think at the top of the ticket, we're going to lose. But what are they really after? Shapiro can say, hey, in states like Pennsylvania, we Democrats are the difference because the abortion's a states' rights issue. We Democrats are the difference between your right to choice. Mm-hmm. So in certain states like Pennsylvania, Shapiro, who was successful here and is still popular, he can get out the vote of those suburban women that we've talked a lot. And then Pennsylvania now is in play. That's what I think they're trying to do. Mika, from her standpoint, is being loyal to Joe Biden and looking at the national ticket still. I think that all these partisan Democrat, people who really study this stuff, the reason I'm more and more confident that Trump's going to win is because of the way they're reacting. And I really think that they are now just trying to figure out how can we win and hold these key states like Pennsylvania and do it on the abortion issue. This is just my take.
Greg Stocker?
Breaking news. We are officially over $20,000. $20,736. I don't see the donation. So people donated the $1,000 for the playlist. Nick, you're gonna have to let me know. I don't see them.
Yeah, I just saw Joe donated $100, and we've got a couple of other, obviously. And you said what's $20,735?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Dale,
I can't look. I can't ride. I am injured. I have a doctor's note. I have a doctor's excuse. But I will try and be there on Sunday at the finish line.
Okay.
Try.
All right.
Woo.
If I do make the finish line, where's Stalker at? I'm be like, Joe, where's Jackie?
By the way, Nick has a little email thread, Dawn, going on with some of the with all of the riders on Sunday, and every single one of them have taken shots at me.
Yes,
it's unbelievable.
Everyone.
I am so put upon. One of the guys said that he had like hip replacement or something like that, and he's still riding.
Another guy said he fell and broke his arm. It's all these fake excuses. All right, that'll do it. We'll come back, get to what's on tap for the Dawn Show and what occurred today in music history.
Chris Donahue says Greg has a note from Dr. Jill.
My wife's a Philly girl.
Yes, indeed.
She's a doctor, too.
There you go. Back after this.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Inflation fears started in 2021. The warning signs were everywhere. But Senator Bob Casey ignored the warnings and sided with the liberals in Washington, voting for trillions in reckless, wasteful spending. And all that reckless spending made inflation worse, driving up prices on almost everything you buy. Now, Pennsylvania families are paying the price for Senator Casey's reckless spending. Our state's been hit the hardest by higher prices. With Senator Casey's reckless spending, grocery prices are up 25%. Rent, it's up 21%, and electricity's up 29%. Senator Casey helped create this mess, and now Pennsylvania families are struggling to make ends meet. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act, and fight against inflationary government spending. Paid for by One Nation, onenationamerica.org.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge. Oh, you people are wonderful. Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee. I hear better than I ever thought possible. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to jabraenhance.com/try. That's JABRA enhance.com/try. jabraenhance.com/try.
We don't care who you vote for in the upcoming election. You know why? Because this is not a political ad. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group meet with people every day wondering if they should be doing something different with their money because it's an election year. At Retire Ready Financial Group, we want you to know where your money is, how it's performing, and if the market does go down, how does it affect your retirement? We call it a portfolio snapshot, and we do it at no charge. Our goal is for you to have confidence as you enter retirement, confidence to spend, and confidence that you won't run out of money. Let's vote those election worries right out of your retirement. For your complimentary portfolio snapshot, call 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or go to retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James B. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC. NPN number 2083768.
Hey you! I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber? More laxatives? More of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Time! Great workout, Rock.
I'll hit the showers.
Not anymore, Rock. I went to half-price hot tubs and got a nice hot tub and infrared sauna.
Hey, yo, Mick, how many rounds did you go to get that deal?
At half-price hot tubs, you always get the best price on the best brands with more inventory than you have sequels.
I'll get one for me and Buckus.
Half-price hot tub sale ends soon. Save an additional $500 and get our unique chemical-free system at 0% financing.
35% of crash deaths in Pennsylvania involve drivers under the influence. Drunk, high, buzzed, wasted. Whatever you are, don't become a statistic. Make a plan to get home safe. Designate a driver, ride share, or stay the night. Be safe, PA. Visit pendot.pa.gov/safety for more. Substance use disorder treatment is available. Call 1-800-662-HELP or find a treatment facility at treatmentatlas.org. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Calling on Percy to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
Download it now.
Welcome back in, Kayal Company. We'll find out what's on tap for the Dawn Show in just a moment.
So we have breaking news, guys. The person who donated called in. Hello? Who is this? Hello?
Hi, it's Linda Kern.
Oh,
it's Linda Kern.
Linda. You donated another $1,000.
I would like to say I did it just because I enjoy how miserable Greg gets when he has to play Elvis. But honestly, Corey Comparatori left behind 2 children, and he was a first responder, and his funeral is today. So it's really in honor of him. I mean, making Greg miserable is just a side benefit for me that I will enjoy immensely the entire week.
Oh, it's amazing.
Or 2 weeks, or however long I get.
Linda, you are an absolute angel. Thank you so much.
You are an angel. And we love her music.
We can't do enough for the children of first responders.
Yes.
Plug your law firm, Linda.
Well, LindaKernsLaw.com, but I represent the Republican National Committee this cycle, and I need people to sign up at ProtectTheVote.com. I need volunteers. I need them more than ever. So please go to ProtectTheVote.com, and we'll find a place for you on Election Day.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much, Linda. You're the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There she is, Linda Kearns. Mission accomplished, over $20,000. What a generous audience. What a great audience. The Dawn Show's coming up next. We find out what she has lined up just 6 minutes out.
So we're planning on taking some of the at least coverage from the Pittsburgh area stations. They're all there as a community says farewell and memorializes our former fire chief, Corey Comparator, who of course was killed by that one of the bullets that was intended by the wannabe assassin of Donald J. Trump. So a tribute to him first and foremost, and then reaction as we look at how local lawmakers are reacting to the RNC, whether it's Jeff Van Drew, whether it's Dave McCormick. We have a lot of local reaction that we want to get through, get your reaction. I did put out word to Rich Cioli because I can't wait to hear if his impact if he's stuck in the Milwaukee airport.
He is.
But
I texted him this morning,
Me
and
too.
he's 11 o'clock. He should be taking off.
So I did his time. So
Plenty of time for Bloody Marys.
So I don't know hopefully he's liquored up in the airport lounge and can call and kind of take give us his take. So he's always, of course, welcome to call.
All right. Looking forward to that. The Dawn Show at the top of the hour. What occurred today in music history?
What happened on this day in music history? Music history on Kayal Company.
Today, July 19th, we celebrate the birthdays of Brian May of Queen, who's now 77, and Alan Collins from Lynyrd Skynyrd, who's now 72. Singles include Elvis's very first single, That's All Right, in 54, and You Better Wait by Steve Perry in 94. Albums include A Little Bit of Mambo by Lou Bega in 99, Neil Young's On the Beach in 74, and Mother Love Bone's only studio album in 1990. Also in 1980, Billy Joel's It's Still Rock and Roll to Me is atop the singles chart. In 77, Steve Martin appeared on The Muppet Show. In 86, Invisible Touch became the very first and only single to hit #1 for the band Genesis. And in 2019, crowds dancing at the Tramlines Festival in England actually triggered minor earthquakes. But lastly, on this day in '89, residents of Washington, Connecticut formed a Roll the Stones Out of Town action group due to being unhappy the Stones were setting up for their upcoming tour. They said it was like the army had moved in and taken over. It's the Rolling Stones. Deal with it. Lots of money's coming your way. For Kayal and Company, I'm Phil Lopquist.
Nice work, Philip. That'll do it for us here on a Friday. I will see, hopefully, some of you at the finish line via bike on Sunday. The question is, as the plot thickens, will Stalker reach the finish line via automobile? Woo! Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the Dawn Show. I'm going to start that race on Sunday like Hulk Hogan at the convention. And by the time I hit the finish line and come back here Monday morning for the big take, I'll be like Joe Biden on a weekend at a Delaware beach, meaning I'll have nothing in the tank. But we'll be back on Monday. Stay tuned. Dawn is next. Until then.
Good night, everybody.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites